following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Reviewing movies for the show, Four Guys and a Movie.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Four Guys and a Movie podcast. This is a podcast where friends gather together, watch movies from the past, and see how they hold up to our little more cynical selves. I'm your host this evening, Rob. I am joined by my friends Tony, Joe, and Will. How are you guys doing? Say hi.
What's up?
Hello, John.
Hello.
Hold on to your butts.
What happened to giving us the opportunity to introduce ourselves?
Introduce yourselves then.
I was going to be Jurassic Joe, but I don't want to be right now.
Okay. Anyway, this episode was pretty momentous. Last week, Brian rolled a natural... Well, not last week. Last episode, Brian rolled a natural 20 and then decided to pick Jurassic Park, a movie we've pretty much been teasing since episode 1. Aside from Godzilla 98, that's a whole different story. And then Brian came down with dinosaur AIDS, so wasn't even here to record the episode with us.
He didn't hold on to his butt.
No, I told him not to sit down on that Styracosaurus horn. He didn't want to listen. So unfortunately,
That's
Brian is
pile of
not
shit.
here with us.
Yeah, Brian really wanted to be here, but life finds a way.
Finds a way
screw everything up.
Yeah, it's be bad.
I think we've already exceeded our allowed limit of Jurassic Park quotes.
And not on the Jurassic Park episode, Joe. It's nothing but.
It's true.
Yeah.
Unlimited quotes.
Yeah.
Pretty much all you're getting. So, I assume at least a few of you have seen this film before. Actually, do we want to talk about a little fact? Actually, let's get into some business first. So, last episode, I was giving everybody a hard time about not buying merchandise from us. And it's because you're just bad fans, really. But
The worst?
we decided that we did a
That's
little...
why I left the show.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That and the drug abuse. So we did a little what would you do, like a bonus kind of a thing, like a little doody-doo, that if you bought a shirt or hoodie from our merchandise store, you could send us a pic and we would count that as a sponsorship for an episode. So we decided to make that a permanent deal. So if you go to a merchandise store and buy either a shirt or a hoodie or, an article of clothing from us, if you send us a pic, if you send us a tweet with a pic of you wearing the shirt with the hashtag selling out, you can tell us whatever movie you want us to watch. It'll count as a sponsored episode. So to all of you that have been asking us to bring that special thing back, we've done it. It's part of the rotation now. So get your wallets out. Damn it.
Since Brian isn't here, I'm going to say pants are required in said pictures.
No dick pics, please.
No dick pics.
Please and thank you.
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll give you
Wait,
Will's...
what are you doing under the table right there?
I'll give you Will's private Twitter.
DM me.
Will obviously wants to see your hungry little caterpillar.
It's Slick Willy Sausage at twitter.net.
.gov.
At GeoCities.
Yeah, can we talk about the hungry little caterpillar for a second? A little bit of contrast in
Excuse
the
me?
room. No, okay, so Tony is wearing, I believe, Rob and Tony are both wearing Transformers and Jurassic Park shirts as a crossover. I showed up as a goddamn T-Rex. Will is wearing a hungry little caterpillar shirt.
Well, he knew that there was a book-related theme to this podcast, so
It's a creature
True.
of some kind.
It is a creature of some kind.
And didn't
Fair
Eric
enough.
Carle do the first illustrations for Jurassic Park?
I
Oh, I hope so.
Don't know.
I'll suck it.
That is absolutely not true.
no, but Zack Snyder is adapting the Hungry Little Caterpillar into a movie soon, where the caterpillar will break out and eat a bunch of children.
It's the children's book Dark Universe.
Yes.
Well, it's probably better than Aquaman's going to be. Anyway.
taking Richard Scarry and making it an actual horror movie.
Ooh.
They heard the name and they just assume things.
Yeah, I think Rob Zombie is actually signed on to do Lowly Worm.
Yeah.
So Jurassic Park then.
I still want to see Rob Zombie's Busy Town. I do.
I think it's called House of a Thousand, or what's the Devil's Rejects?
Devil's
I don't
Reject.
know.
Those are both the same franchise.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
So we got some facts about this film. Anybody read off some facts? I want
We
some
did.
facts.
Directed by Steven Spielberg, of course, who we've done prior to this. Who did Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, the same year, E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, Jaws, and so on, and so on, and so on.
Oh, Tony's listing the good Spielberg movies.
I told you, when we do the good ones,
Yeah,
I'll
might-
read the good ones.
So you're
plain.
assuming that we're going to decide this is a good movie then.
I might be leaning towards that assumption, yes.
I mean, I wouldn't put money against it.
I mean, I've never been a wise man.
Since I'd say a good half of what you have in your house is Jurassic Park related, I think it's safe to say you like the franchise.
I mean, maybe it's like one of those, I have it around because I hate it so much. Like I'm obsessed with it in the negative.
You are an internet personality, so I could be.
Wait, you didn't do the proper air quotes.
He's holding too many things in his hands.
All right, so James Cameron was almost brought on to make this movie, but
Too long. Sorry.
To make this movie too long.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
No, the special effects he wanted weren't ready at the time.
Yeah, he wanted to film it all underwater.
No, he did want to make it more of an action movie, a la Aliens or something.
Sure.
But he was outbid just a few hours earlier, of course. So that didn't happen. But he did say when seeing the movie that the right person got the job. Similarly, Harrison Ford was almost cast to play Alan Grant, but he also turned it down. And then seeing the movie was like, yeah, that was a good idea because this guy, he's got the deal.
Maybe I'll do a fifth Indiana Jones instead.
I'll be way down the line. Though Steven Spielberg was doing all the roars for the T-Rex through a microphone during the actual shootings of the scene.
I want video of that.
You can find it. The Tyrannosaurus' actual roar is a combination of dog, penguin, tiger, alligator, and elephant sounds. The T-Rex itself, the actual built animatronic for the bigger scenes of fighting with the truck and everything, was full-on animatronic. And they, it was made specifically for this task. But at the last minute, they decided, or Spielberg decided that he wanted the scene to happen in the rain, which they weren't prepared for, which made the weight of the machine and everything be off. They had to keep stopping to dab it down with some towels and stuff to try and keep it from freaking out.
We were doing that to Rob while we were watching the movie.
Exactly right. My head was shaking around the same way too. I wanted that on my resume though. Tyrannosaurus dabber.
Occasionally, at random points, the T-Rex would just malfunction and start moving on its own, even in between sets or scenes,
Not terrifying.
recordings. Yeah.
You gotta cut me, Mick.
I don't know if you're going to say this, but do you know what happened to the T-Rex animatronic? 'Cause I was thinking about that several times throughout the movie.
I'm not entirely sure. I think that's in Stan
isn't that just
Winston's-
Stan Winston Studios or whatever?
Studios there.
It's just somewhere in their studios.
Yeah, if I ever win the lottery, you'll know where it'll be because it'll
Yeah.
be
Yeah, it's,
wherever you are when we record the podcast.
yeah. Like Rob will be like, can I have it? And they'll be like, no. He's like, can I live here?
Yeah, can I just buy this building?
Yeah.
I will say, however,
Stan's dead. Just let me move in, guys. You're not doing anything.
models for the Raptors were given out, signed by Spielberg himself, to all of the crew. The young lady that plays Lex had it by her front door to be like a guard dog and freak people out when they come in. Apparently, Goldblum just has it as a treasured piece of memorabilia in his study.
10 out of 10 Goldblums.
And Laura Dern put it next to her baby's crib till it freaked the baby out so much she
That she got rid of the baby.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not how that works?
Shouldn't have had the baby. This baby smell. Some baby smell.
The baby moved into the raptor room.
Raptor was jealous.
You got to share the room with the raptor.
Yeah. The movie, of course, or the book, its rights were bought to be made into a movie before he even had it published. And they tossed a bunch of money at him to make the sequel, as we already know. And it generated a bigger insurge of people that wanted to be paleontologists after this movie came out. So that was a big thing. And of course, it was a huge thing for CGI back then. Originally, it was all going to be stop motion animation, which you can also find video of, and I would suggest checking it out because that's so adorable. Watching little
It is
claymation
adorable,
raptors.
but you can tell when you watch it, like, yeah, that would not have worked.
Probably
See,
not.
now that should have been set to the recorder or the melodica.
I mean, it's not that kind of adorable, but it's like you can tell that they're puppets. Like,
Yep.
I mean, they look like the dinosaurs in the movie, but they move like like old Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah,
like,
it would have looked like Gremlins.
yeah, it would have looked like Gremlins.
Like Clash of the Titans.
yeah, exactly.
Better than that, but yeah. But they of course were like, hey, we're trying out this new thing with computers we can do. Let me show you. Where they did the first scene with the Gallimimuses doing their flocking, which you can, it's just their skeletons actually, but you can also find that online as well. So, and does anyone want to guess at the budget this movie had to make?
Yeah, since we've talked about it multiple times, I'm going to say
actually remember.
$60 million.
Yeah, I was going to guess 60. Was it 62?
I think it might have been 62.
59?
I'm keeping it safe
right,
with
we're-
60.
Good call, Joe. It's $63 million.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
Nice.
I knew it was in the early
Yeah.
60s, but I didn't know.
And want to guess how much it made? I warn you now, I have the most current total. So after all, any re-releases or whatever
Oh,
else.
jeez.
so-
Yeah.
All right.
Can I guess $1 bajillion?
I'm going to guess. I'm going to go with $1 billion.
I'll go with $1.1 billion.
2 billion.
All right. I guess I should have been more accurate, but yeah, roughly $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Oh,
Inside
Birdemic, we
jokes.
love you.
Well, have you seen Birdemic?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Well,
we'll change.
now
You
you
are
know when
missing
you buy a
nothing.
t-shirt.
We'll change that.
All right.
So who's in this movie?
Oh, that's me.
One of y'all.
Generally, yes.
This is why I left.
It's been a long summer. I missed my cue. Okay, so got a few people. I don't know if you ever heard of them. You got Sam Neill as Grant. You got Laura Dern as Ellie. Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm as Jeff Goldblum. Richard Attenborough as John Hammond. Bob Peck as Muldoon. Martin Ferraro as Gennaro. B.D. Wong as Wu as B.D. Wong. Joseph Mazzello as young Tim. Ariana Richards as young Lex. Samuel L. Jackson as Mr. Arnold. And Newman himself, Wayne Knight, as Nedry.
Great. Thank you.
Someone else missed their cue, too.
Fall asleep on the couch there.
I was lost in the eyes of my dinosaur cookie. So, Will, what's your history with this movie?
First remember seeing it on NBC, so like an edited version of my dad, and I want to say 97, and I remember that Christmas it ended up being my gift from him, because I don't think we ended up finishing it on TV, so I remember he and I watching it like Christmas Day, 97, and, just one of those classics of, if you were alive in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, seen it multiple times.
That's pretty cool. Tony, what's your history with this movie?
This is one where I oddly remember specifics. I think it might have been opening day, but I remember I was at our grandfather's house in the pool, and I didn't want to get out. And they were saying, like, we gotta go. We gotta get out of the pool. And I was like having too much fun. And then they were like, but we're going to see Jurassic Park. And I like flew out of that fucking...
It's a Tony-shaped hole in the side of
yeah,
the
pretty much. And I think I just straight walked on water at one point. But, yeah. Saw it in the theater. Loved it. Seen it several times since.
Joe, how about you?
When did this come out? 92?
93?
93. All right, so picture a fresh-faced, young 12 to 13-year-old Joe.
Mm-hmm. Flannel. Smaller beard.
Yeah, we got the flannel. At this point, we have, like, sideburns trying to become a beard.
The mutton chops.
The mutton chops, yeah. We have, that's where I just wore the black baseball cap. And I woke up one day, and I was like, today, I want to have my balls rocked. Let's go see some fucking Jurassic Park. Spoiler alert, it happened right there in the theater. I think that's that might be when I grew the pubes and became a man. Voice cracked and everything.
Wow.
It was, yeah.
As the T-Rex roared, it just shook everything loose of you.
Yeah, that was it.
Sideburns connected.
Power up.
Yeah, it's like my chakras aligned. That gained the level right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very similar story. I've probably seen the film more times than all of you combined.
We've all seen it a lot.
Twice.
Yeah, all those movies that I've seen, for each one of those movies I watched, Rob watched Jurassic Park.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much true. So full disclosure, I started watching this movie earlier today as a pregame to watch this movie later with you guys.
You had to get warmed up
I
first.
did. I was like, I gotta at least get there, you gotta empty the chamber.
Yeah. No, you don't want to go into this with a loaded gun.
I remember when this movie came out, I had the Art of Crash, which is the art book for this movie. It just has all the sketches of all the dinosaurs. I went to the movie wearing my Velociraptor shirt from this film. It's like a white shirt with like just outlined Velociraptors. And I was pretty excited. Enjoyed the film very much. And have enjoyed it ever since.
Yeah, I mean, really, what kid our age at the time when this film came out wasn't like gaga for dinosaurs?
I can't think of any. Like,
yeah, I mean, we were a little bit past like kid dinosaur obsession, but it's still like dinosaurs are freaking cool. And then this is like, oh my god, dinosaurs are going to be on the screen and they're going to look real. Like, who the hell wasn't pumped for this?
I mean, straight up, has any of you ever met a person that just doesn't like this movie?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've ever met a person that doesn't.
I said, I hope Joe beat
No, I mean, I told them they were wrong.
Well,
I'm like, I don't care what your opinion is. You like this movie. Like, I don't believe you.
Right.
Did they have reasoning?
Yeah, I mean, they're like, the plot structure.
Well, yeah, the plot, but
like,
that's not why you like this.
Now, I'll admit, Jurassic World, I was all like, the plot structure.
You sure were.
Well, there's a
we'll talk about that
between
later.
the two of these movies.
We'll talk about that later.
I'm trying to think if I've ever even encountered someone who's not even seen it. I feel like it's one of those movies that
I know there are people that haven't seen it.
Yeah, that
especially
like
younger people that are
like in Libya somewhere or something like that.
No,
or
I mean,
like,
there are people that are just in their 20s or whatever that just grew up just past that time and never went back to it. So maybe they've probably seen the sequels but never saw the original.
that's a sad generation.
It really
they grew up just on right after the little bit of good movies at the beginning of the 90s and then just the long trough.
Well, that's kind of like the kids that grew up with the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
But on the plus side, that means at some point they get to go see those movies for the first time.
Yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
was in theaters very recently again for the 25th anniversary. And I am bummed that I did not get a chance to actually go see that, but
Same here.
just didn't work out timing wise.
Transformer movie too.
Yeah, that I'm not that upset about.
I would have liked it.
I mean, I don't need my heart broken for multiple reasons again.
You already have the touch.
I
You
do.
have the power.
I have the power. When all hell's breaking loose, I'll be riding the eye of the storm. Anyway, let's dive right into it. Actually, do we want to do Dinosaur Communion first?
Yeah, I mean, we might as well. We're entering temple. We
So
might as
since
well
since Brian's not here,
break bread.
we wanted to honor his memory
Feel better, Brian.
of our fallen heroes. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. Friend of the podcast, Matt, who also could not be here because he popped a babby out, and he's got to be a dad. I can't open this damn thing. So I know Jurassic Park means a lot to him as well. So pretty much everybody.
Yeah, who doesn't this movie
everybody,
mean a lot
everybody
to?
who's ever been on this podcast,
Yeah.
this is for you.
Yeah, even those who haven't yet been on this podcast.
So I have a Jurassic Park cookie that was given to me by Tony as a wonderful gift. I'm going to go ahead and break it
That was very nice of you, Tony.
into 4 pieces,
What a guy.
and we're gonna enjoy a little. Here you go. We're gonna enjoy some cookie right here, right in the. This is gonna stop the podcast dead to eat a cookie.
Fat
all
chat.
all is one.
We're all eating a big ass cookie.
Brian,
together.
this is for you, Matt, Adrian. Shout outs.
For all of you that don't like listening to us chew on mic, just hit that skip button a few times.
It's a really hard cookie. So.
Yeah,
This is not a good cookie.
No.
It has an armor class.
need some milk.
Again, full disclosure, I got this for Rob when they were selling it as a promotional item for the last movie that came out.
It's already in our mouths. Don't need to know that.
All right.
As soon as I got it, I put it in my refrigerator. I was like, I'm gonna save this for a special occasion. I was saving it for my birthday,
Well,
and I forgot.
I mean, it's very well seasoned.
Yeah.
Like, there's no water in it, no moisture of any kind.
Hardtack.
Hardtack, yeah. That being said, though, it was a nice thought.
Well, it doesn't matter. It was for Brian and all those other people. Yeah. So, everybody take a drink of whatever they have. Whether it be margarita or Narragansett Autocrat Coffee Milk Stout or McDonald's juice,
It's just water.
water,
McJuice.
or Coke Cherry Zero. And let's talk about Jurassic Park. Who wants to open us up?
Just turn into an ad for some
Hell
reason.
yeah. So, yeah, we start off, something's stamping around through the jungle, something's shaking the bushes. There's a lot of guys who look very concerned about it. They all got guns. They look ready for business. And you're like, are we getting dinosaurs already? That's not very Spielberg-like.
No, it's not. It's odd.
When, swerve, it's just a forklift.
Yeah. Well, but it's a forklift with a big stupid crate on it.
Yep.
And inside that crate is something making crazy sounds.
Now, if I could point out right here, I mentioned this while watching this, but this movie, we have a crated dinosaur. It's all wrapped up in this little crate.
For me, for
Reportedly
Christmas.
can't get out. And there's like 50 people with guns ready to deal with this thing. Stark difference once again from Jurassic Park 2, where they're wandering around with headphones on and like a pistol strapped on their side that they're not even touching, waiting to be eaten by all kinds of things that are just running loose in the
Well,
jungle.
all right.
Well, they want, at this point, to give you an illusion of control. Not
Right,
like...
let's address this really quick. Okay. So, you have to understand. Jurassic Park. John Hammond set up this park. He wants every safety measure in place.
But doesn't put any
Spared no expense.
that expired ever
But
expense.
fuck those Puerto
Well, he
Rican
put a
workers.
ton, he put a ton of safety precautions. in.
Yeah.
He just screwed the pooch on it. Now,
No, we'll get in a moment to two big failings right off the bat.
of course, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, the intent was there. Lost Worlds is John Hammond's nephew, whatever.
Yeah.
Board of directors decides that they're, cooler than whatever. They just send a bunch of mercenaries in to catch these guys.
Just a ragtag.
I
team.
think they did just hire big game hunters.
They did,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're just like, oh, yeah, it's just big game. We'll just go in there as we normally do with big game. They don't think about the
like
you know.
T-Rex,
We're in-
bear, what's the
We're
difference?
in Costa
right?
Rica. Why do we need to have our Vince Vaughn protocols on?
Right, exactly. Yeah. But anyway, so they're bringing
Large
in this
buck
big truck,
velociraptor.
this big box.
All right. So this starts a common theme throughout this movie. This movie does a lot of stupid shit where even as a kid, I was like, is that really the way they're going to do that?
People
But
get dumb, you know.
it's presented in such a cool way that most of the time you don't care.
Yeah.
There are a few times where there's going to be some staunch objections, but for the most part, this movie does way more right than it does wrong.
Yeah, I will say right now, because I know I've had this conversation with a few people in person, but when I mention, like, if they're saying I'm nitpicking a movie, and I mention that the movie should be good enough that I don't focus on that, this is a prime example. This movie has tons of things that we will nitpick throughout the rest of this recording, but like the movie as a whole is good enough for me to be like, screw it, it's a good movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is one of them.
You got to earn your stupid.
Yeah, exactly. You build up cred and then cash it in to do something dumb. I don't know why you got to do that, but you do. But like, there has to be a better way of doing this than what they do.
So
there's a
here's the thing. All right. So they bring this crate in, and you hear Muldoon say very specifically, "We are locked in."
And the lights
Yeah.
go from red to green.
Yep.
The lights go from red to green. We're locked in. Joffrey raised the gate.
Joffrey, get on top of that
Yeah.
thing.
Get on top of the crate and lift the giant door handle.
Lifts the gate. He's the gatekeeper. Freaking Dana
Prince-
Barrett shows
Prince
up.
Joffrey.
She's
Yeah.
like, "I'm the keymaster."
Well, it was the Velociraptor was the key master.
Velociraptor was keymaster. Yeah, Velociraptor starts floating around in this weird silky dress. No, but so okay.
And Bill Murray almost fucks it.
So almost nothing.
Yeah.
So Joffrey raises the gate, and this raptor runs in a direction.
Or like
It looks-
kicks against the.
I don't even
bracing
know. You
mechanism or
don't know.
something.
You just see its eyes like run in a direction.
Yeah. Physics wise, I don't know what it did.
Physics
Yeah.
does not count in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Just even
Did
We'll
it
get to
just
that.
run at such velocity that its feet hitting the ground
Well, this is
slid the crate along?
It is a velociraptor. But he said they were locked in, which
Yeah.
I assume meant the thing was locked in.
Yeah.
I think he just meant it's in position. They didn't actually lock anything down.
But why would you say that?
I don't know.
Why would you not say in position?
What is it hitting to get the crate to move
Exactly.
like that?
Like, you're inside the object. What are you
the
hitting?
door's open. Like
Right.
even if you hit the door, the crate wouldn't move back.
Right.
This makes sense.
And so the
Yeah.
crate jolts back like a foot and a half, and then suddenly this dude gets sucked into it from nowhere.
Never mind. The door should have prevented him from
Right.
falling in there.
He just does like a front flip right in
Yeah.
front of
Yeah,
the
he's like I don't know. It looked like he was trying to like sexy himself into a ride from this
Yeah.
locker. Like he stuck his knee in the door. It was like, "Hey, baby, you like this?"
It's also interesting because most of the guys get to the sides of this crate and they start putting their little cattle prods in there and poking on it. It's like, you have a much bigger problem because there's still a giant gap between the opening of this gate.
Right? Yeah.
Like
now
that
this thing
raptor
is just sitting
bounced.
here.
But this thing's like the masturbating bear. It doesn't care about the cattle.
Oh, no,
prods.
not
It's
at all.
just
Not at all.
Savaging
And-
Mr. Joffrey.
And while it's savaging this dude, its apparently head is just totally still, not moving, because it's giving Muldoon the eye, like, you like this?
Look what
I'm
I'm
jerking
doing
off
to your
on your
guy."
trousers.
I'm gonna look you in the eye as I fuck this dude. Yeah, keep looking at me. Keep looking at me.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Muldoon, though, he's like, fuck this.
Yeah, he's like,
Watch me do me. Watch me do me.
yeah, exactly. He's like, guys, shoot this bitch, please.
shoot up.
Shoot her.
And he's got Joffrey in a
And you've
arm
got,
grip.
Yeah, and you've
slowly
got
slipping.
50 dudes, and none of them can take down this one velociraptor.
Well, presumably they get it, but
Eventually,
Yeah.
but after he loses the
Yeah,
dude
loses the
first.
also, yeah, what? Why don't you just sedate the thing, like, before you put it in there? Like,
Really?
yeah.
Well, this, if we want to jump ahead a little, this raises a lot of questions for me because why do we have it? We see later on the Velociraptor enclosure, And because the raptors are too smart, they're testing the fences. They jump really high, so they have really high walls and fences. There's nothing you can do to make an attraction of this.
But that's what you missed. So it's really hard to pick out, but because I've seen the movie approximately 700 times, I can tell you this.
Okay.
While Grant is talking with Muldoon about the raptors, Hammond is talking to Sattler about how they're setting up the attraction. And he says it's going to be underground. There's going to be a tunnel around the enclosure that's going to be like, I don't know if it's going to be glass or whatever, but people can walk around underneath and see the raptors.
It'll be like the prairie dog thing at the zoo.
Basically, yes, as far as I can tell.
That
And
still
I know
sounds
it's
like why-
crazy, but
First of all, why bother? Or if you are going to bother, one's enough. We don't need a pack. I know they want a pack, but we don't need a pack. That's just dangerous and stupid.
I mean, we can assume that maybe Dr. Wu had these weird plans the whole time.
They're just waiting on Chris Pratt to give him this little
that could be.
clicker.
But, also
That's what they were missing in this movie. That clicker.
common theme of the whole franchise, hubris.
Well,
I mean, that really
Why do
is
it?
like
Because we can.
that's the whole theme behind Jurassic World. That's the whole
Yeah, no, I know. Always you figured out that you could. You never stopped to ask if you should. Yeah, I
That's
guess.
exactly it. People don't know when to not do something.
Yeah.
And we go from this catastrophe to a lawyer on a raft.
Yeah. So we introduced Gennaro, or not Gennaro. Stupid lawyer's name.
Is Gennaro.
Oh, it is Gennaro. Okay, that's all right. I don't know. You know what?
700 times.
700 times, it all starts to run together like a slurry.
Maybe take a break once in a while.
Just Jurassic Park juice rolling around in my brain. So Gennaro is coming in because they want to test the validity and the safety of the park, because after this guy died, of course, there's all these lawsuits and everything, and he's like, well, we got to make sure your park's safe, or the board of directors is going to pull out their funding, and you're going to be back to your stupid flea circus, you gross little Scottish git. So they
Of course, Hammond is not there to receive that criticism.
he is not. But if he was, he would hit me in the balls with his little cane. So this sets in motion the whole, we need experts on the island to kind of verify that it's safe, that the animals are healthy, that everything is on the up and up. So they bring in,
It says we already have Ian Malcolm.
okay, here's, why?
Because he's trendy.
Why a mathematician?
Chaos.
Chaos.
Why a chaotician mathematician?
Because if there's something that's going to go wrong, he's going to be the guy to find it.
Why Emo Phillips' cool cousin is coming to the park?
His leather jacket in the tropics.
In his freaking leather jacket in 1,000-degree weather. Thank you.
Because he's awesome.
He has reached that
He's
level
epic, Rob.
and spent the proper character abilities to be able to wear a leather jacket at all times.
That's fair. He's got a level 20 natural sunblock. So anyway,
If John can do it, Ian Malcolm can do it. All right.
So yeah, I guess the board of directors picked Malcolm. And you know what? To be honest with you, I bet they probably picked Malcolm as like a sabotage.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it. So they picked this chaotician, this mathematician that
It's
just
like, this guy hates everything.
he hates
yeah.
everything. He's just gonna.
That's why
Yeah.
Hammond said he picks out the two paleontologists, but the lawyer picks out Ian Malcolm because he's essentially trying to get him to say this is not what you want to
Yeah.
do. Don't invest in this. Yeah.
So yeah, we cut to
Well,
what
there was
did
an
it say?
interesting line that threw me first, where they find a mosquito in the amber, and Gennaro's like, why isn't Alan Grant here already? At this dig, and they're like, oh, I don't think it'd be hard to get him here because he's like me, and they said he's a digger, and I misheard that at first.
Wow.
It was like, wait,
so.
Alrighty then.
Hey Joe,
Yep,
can I interest you in a Dorito?
yeah, I think I might need one.
I got regular nacho cheese.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Not to go on too much of a tangent here, but has anyone seen that thing about the Twitter account for Mario where they mispronounced a little bit?
Well,
What? No. What? Stop. up. What are we doing?
Going on a rant like you always do.
Eat a Dorito like I always do.
No, it's just they were talking about something like Morrow has to fight the Wigglers, but they put Wiggers.
Well,
Yeah.
If anyone deserves to get jumped on,
Well, they put out some apology like, "Whoa, Mario had a few too many mushrooms or something." Like, sorry about that, guys.
and the first response back was, well, why did it autocorrect to that in the first place?
Never you mind.
Going back to Nintendo Twitter, did you see for a few days that like Toad was trending on Twitter because of
Trump's penis.
the
yes.
Trump's penis comparison? Nintendo went on and they're like, "Oh man, so many people are talking about Toad. This is awesome."
I just wanted to be there when the record skipped, and they were like, "Wait a minute."
Hold on now.
Whoops.
Captain Toad games
Anyway.
that pulled from the shelves.
So now we're in the Badlands. We're digging up a skeleton. We're doing the cool part of paleontology that everyone thinks paleontology is going to be.
And by digging up a skeleton, we mean we're lightly dusting off a pre-made,
Completely intact.
completely intact, perfect skeleton of a dinosaur.
Well, again,
That
this
happens
is
all the time.
when people think paleontology. This is exactly what they
Yep,
think is
exactly.
happening.
Right, you're just dusting it off like, oh,
Not-
I found this one.
Not
Like,
the hours of just digging around nowhere.
pulling out thousands of pounds of just rock to later take back to a museum and then spend hundreds of thousands of hours meticulously picking away at every single grain of sand on these bones.
Considering it a success if you find a bone.
Yeah, or
Which,
anything
speaking
at all.
of, am I not mistaken in saying that they found two completely intact skeletons?
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
the one they were
Yeah,
digging
'cause
and the one they like
the one they found
did
the sonic
radar.
radar.
Both of which
yeah.
look exactly alike.
They do. That's why I was questioning that a bit. I was like, those are two separate things, right?
They both caught. They caught two velociraptors, both in mid-orgasm. Like,
Heads tilted back.
Yeah.
it's back.
So,
About to fly.
yeah, we see this crazy, like, shotgun shell radar thing.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's a real thing.
No, I mean, I guess it works. I
Penetrating
just,
sonar.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we find out that it's closer to a bird than a reptile.
Yep.
Some people laugh at, but
Enter the most horrible child to ever come on the screen. Little
Rob
freaking.
does not like this
I
child.
do not like this child. First of all, it's a genderless,
Blob.
necklace, gross, Rosie O'Donnell looking blob.
Children of the Corn.
Children of the
creature.
Corn looking.
He should not be outside because he is so damn pale.
He should
He
not.
should be on fire right now.
yeah, Will brought that up. He does look like the little kid preacher from Children of the Corn, but fatter.
Yeah, well, he also looks like the freaking. Okay.
This is way meaner than we needed to get.
He looks like
about this
Toad.
kid.
He looks like what's her name from Poltergeist?
Head to the light.
Caroline. So
I described him as the human version of a big toe.
yeah, like legit when Grant's like, it's a oh no wonder these learned how to fly, and he's like, oh, it doesn't look scary. Grant should just cold cocked him right in this temple. Just knock this kid out flat.
I think it would have been better if, like, the people part and he slowly turns and looks at him like, it's just like a big chicken. He was just like, oh, you think it's a big, oh God!
or make it
Sorry.
make it even worse. Like you said. He said Spielberg did Schindler's List. The same here.
Oh, no.
No.
Stop whatever you're about to say.
I'm brandishing the Dorito bag
I
at him.
see it. I'm ignoring it. I choose to
Get
ignore it.
the Dorito.
No. So like, if they just had Sam Neill
No.
in this really uncomfortable scene where he just starts slapping this kid, just like nobody's talking, there's no words. He's just slapping, like serious.
Just the shots of everyone else's faces.
yeah, just like
looking at this kid
angry,
getting slapped.
like freaking Viggo Mortensen going on a rampage, just slapping this kid in the face.
So, like, history of violence era.
Yeah, like not
Okay.
not like a curb stomp, but like
Yeah.
he's just slapping this kid over, like hard slapping.
Whose kid was that anyway? Like, how did he get on the?
I don't even know. It doesn't matter. Just
You know what? I'll give this guy props, though, because the story Tony told during Jurassic World Because you know how people were saying that Chris Pratt's character is this kid.
Yeah.
That's
the
so
first one.
terrible. Like, who would even? Come
Well,
on.
Well, that was basically his response.
Yeah,
to
the,
it.
the actor who played this kid said, like, look at me. I could never grow up to
I'm
be
a
Chris
monster.
Pratt. Basically, yeah. He's like, somebody that looks like me will never grow up to look like somebody that looks like Chris Pratt. Just not happening.
So long story short, this kid looks like somebody who should be sitting at this table.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like on the
He would
end,
probably be maybe the third most horrible looking person in the room.
Possibly under the table.
Possibly under the table. You got lucky, Will. You missed the initiation. From now on, people start under the table is where the guests start.
Fair enough.
yeah. You're like I'm too
Just eating whatever Doritos fall out of our mouths, just the Dorito crumbs, licking candy wrappers.
Oh, this is horrible.
like the people under the stairs.
All right. This is Jurassic
like
Park, guys.
Solo.
We gotta get more focused.
Okay, all right, yeah.
All right, so Grant
He
rightfully
threatens this
hates
kid.
kids. Yeah, he does his whole spiel about how the raptors come at you from the sides.
He threatens this little douche nozzle
He's
with
like-
a claw.
It's like, little do you know, you fat fuck, but this is foreshadowing for later.
Yeah, these raptors are gonna cut your balls off
Yeah.
right in your butt.
Yeah, most importantly, they will start eating you while you're still alive. Have fun sleeping tonight.
yeah, and like most carnivores, they go straight for the anus.
By the way, where's your parents? All right. See you later.
Anus and genitals. That's where all the fatty organs are.
All right. So Hammond shows up.
Fat shit.
Oh, you would know there, Rob.
I would. My genitals are notoriously fatty.
All right, so here's another one I don't get, right? John Hammond,
Fat balls. syndrome.
who we're going to meet right here, he's not a very mobile man. Like, he's got a cane. You never see him move quickly
No.
or anything. So this helicopter lands and Sam Neill runs right to it. Like, Dr. Grant's right on the scene because this thing's blowing dust all over his dig site. It's fucking everything up. And he's like, what are you doing to this pilot? And the pilot points to the trailer. And I'm like, well, how did Hammond get there already? Like, did they kick him out the helicopter on the way in?
They dropped him in a pod
Yeah.
before the helicopter landed.
One of those pods from Lost. Or
He's a Jedi master. He just
Yeah.
doesn't want them to know yet.
He's the secret owner of Capsule Corp.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like Yoda where he can just, for short periods of time, move extremely fast.
His introduction scene is the same as Yoda's. Yes. They're both digging through their food.
It's like whacking the refrigerator with his stick.
He makes Grant carry him around on his back for a while.
I so want to see that.
No more digging. Lift the rocks, you will.
All right, so basically he's like, look, I want you to come check out my park. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but I'm going to fund your dig for 3 more years.
Well, I'm going to tell you it's right up your alley. And then,
And I'm going to spend all this time pouring out your fine, whatever that was,
Champagne.
it was not fine.
Or
Yeah.
sparkling water.
Pouring out your Welch's sparkling water.
Yeah, it's exactly.
And like he's pouring this thing for like 10 goddamn minutes. By the end of the scene, they're like, all right, let's go. And no one's drank anything yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I did I was thinking to myself, at least, he starts pouring half the glass, then stops to talk for like 20 minutes. I'm like, can I just get the fucking glass already?
I mean, you've just been digging around in the dirt and the hot sun. Do you really want like sticky cider in your mouth? That's how you get ants.
That is how you get ants. Also leaving it there because you just hop in the helicopter.
yeah.
That's how you get ants too. All right. So we go to Jurassic Park. Oh, wait. No, we don't. No, we don't.
We got Nedry and
We got Dodson here.
Dodson here.
Dodson.
Freaking Dodson.
Yeah. So you see this shady looking man in a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses and, looking like a Trader Joe's employee here.
This
Too soon.
was like a Trader Joe's store party.
Yeah.
This whole scenario.
How would you know what a Trader Joe's
So
party
yeah,
looks
so
like?
like, they're like,
I've seen
Dodson, we
pictures
got
online.
Dodson here, and no one gives a fuck. Like a Trader Joe's party. No one
The Trader
cares.
Joe's party don't stop.
Oh, it stops abruptly.
It never really starts.
So this man that could only be described as future hover-around commercial star Dennis Nedry is hanging out. It's little
Newman. We all know Newman.
Yeah, Newman. Wayne Knight.
Yeah.
He's approached by Gennaro, and he's like, "Hey, you work for InGen? We work for I can't remember the
Well, it wasn't Gennaro.
Dodson. I'm
Dodson.
sorry. I don't
Yeah.
know why I keep mixing those names. My brain, my poor brain. So Dodson is like, "You're gonna get us some embryos, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, we got a Barbasol can." And it's full of empty condoms. You just fill the condoms with the embryos. You swallow them or put them up your butt, and then you get through customs. So he's like, "Bring us all these embryos."
Wayne Knight is having a straight giggle fit at
Oh, yeah.
all of
He
this.
really
Yeah,
is.
he's enjoying it.
Like, he doesn't check that there's money in the bag. He just jiggles it.
Yeah,
And he's
he
like, yeah, it
grabs it.
seems legit.
Grabs it and giggles.
It's like it's too heavy for me to deal with.
It feels good against my tit. That's all I need.
I mean, that's how I judge things.
Yeah.
Or maybe the deal was just to get him a really nice leather travel bag.
He's really happy with that bag. Yeah, and then, in fairness, that can of Barbasol is pretty badass.
Oh, yeah,
a
that's
sweet,
awesome,
That's
yeah.
a sweet prop.
I mean, I would have had like about 15 or so of the small, like snack-sized Twix in there that I would have smuggled into the island, so they'd be nice and cold when it was time to steal the embryos.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did too.
Well,
That's true. Yeah.
He probably just had snack-sized Twix stuck in his pocket. He probably has,
Well, he had a,
And they were all
melted
they were
mass.
melty,
of-
yeah.
yeah.
That's why I
Like-
needed the
like
cryo
John
thing.
Candy. He probably had a candy bar pocket.
Yeah. So, you do see on his desk, he did have good choice in snacks. He had a whole thing of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Which
Anyway.
is, I don't know how much I believe that. I don't know how long a full thing of Reese's peanut butter cups would last on his
nice.
desk.
I don't know that it was.
Oh, no,
cold.
it
He
was
nesting.
yeah,
He was
no, it was
street
just the
nesting.
wrappers.
Oh,
like,
okay, all right,
yeah,
yeah.
he savaged that fucker.
So it looks pretty much like this table does
Yeah,
right now.
right
All
now.
But when we see his desk, it's like a normal office. Everybody's just at their computers doing their things, and then there's just a pile of shit in the corner.
Yeah, it's
And he's
overflowed
sitting-
off
He's
the
all by
sides.
himself in his little trash.
Yeah, hunched
nest in
over
the
a
corner.
computer, looking at half-naked ladies and watching Jaws.
All right, so yeah, basically Nedry's got to steal some embryos. He's like, "Yo, I got a 18-minute window. We can do this." Booyah!
He's made a big deal about not cheaping out on him like Hammond did. So apparently that's his reasoning for double crossing Hammond.
I made an 18-minute long QuickTime video. I'm going to play that. It'll be fine.
And now we're on a helicopter going to Jurassic Park, and we meet fucking Jeff Goldblum, Ian Malcolm,
Oh yeah,
basically just unleashing his full Jeff Goldblum.
He really
it's
is.
the bloom.
Yeah.
He's in full bloom.
Yeah, like really, when you think Jeff Goldblum, you would quickly either think to Independence Day or this, and then the shot of him vomiting on that guy's hand and melting it from the fly. Well, it's whenever someone says Jeff Goldblum.
So the number
those are
one
the three
thing.
images that cycle through my mind.
And not only that, but this is the point where John Williams melts my heart vagina with the Jurassic Park score. We start to get this going on. And
As usual, he picked a winner,
John Williams,
and it only gets better each time you hear it too.
it really does. Yeah, it really does. Like, I have it as my phone ringtone, and like even when I get like spam calls, I will just let it ring. I won't even decline the call. I'll just let it ring because I want to hear it. Even when it's like super late and I'm trying to go to sleep, I'm like, yeah, I can't not listen right now.
But here's again where we have a bit of physics breaking, because these dinosaurs apparently have stealth mode, because they roll right up to a brontosaurus and like they don't notice until they're up
sorry,
its
what?
butt.
I'm sorry, what?
Or brachiosaur, what was
Thank
it?
you.
Brachiosaur?
Thank you.
I apologize. You dick. But
Rob's glasses bounced all the way up to like, the
really
top of
did.
his head and fell back down on the
really
bridge of his
did.
nose.
the point is they were almost close enough to touch it, and like Grant still has to grab
Well,
Ellie.
Ellie
head.
was hypnotized by that leaf.
Yeah,
and
she was
I mean,
trying to figure out if she could roll
I
it up
buy
and
it from
smoke it.
Sattler because like she's like, this thing's been dead for millions of years. I'm holding it in my hand. What's going on? She's focused on that. But
As far as the visuals go, I'll give you, but like there would have been booming and there's
Yeah, those things would
noises,
shake the
like,
earth.
Yeah, it's like an elephant walking next to your
Yeah.
car. You'd notice that shit.
Yeah.
But either way, the reveal is still freaking awesome.
But yeah, it works for the reveal.
And it's like,
you get the awe and the wonder.
Yeah, the On the Wonder is a little bit lessened for me over the years for the first Brachiosaurus. But like when it pans out and you see like all the dinosaurs in the water and stuff. Every time.
I mean, and that's one of like, this movie I think has two really like just classic moments, maybe three like just classic moments where it changed cinema. Because this was like right at the right time where the CGI was coming into its forefront. It was like this and Terminator 2 were both like the ones where you saw like, holy crap, CGI.
Yeah.
But this is really where they were, because Terminator 2 was just like, oh, look, that thing's doing something cool we never saw before.
Yeah, it's an amorphous blob.
Yeah. But this one was like, it's a goddamn dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just watching a fucking dinosaur move around. And your brain just immediately suspends disbelief. You're like, if you look at it now, there are some problems in the CGI.
Yeah, it's a low polygon count. Like, you can see that the textures are kind of stretched looking, and the colors are very muddy.
Yeah. It looks really good, but you can tell it's computer generated. It's clearly not something that's actually there.
Yeah,
but at that moment, though,
into the frame.
when I was 12 years old, like,
that was a friggin'
that was
awesome.
because we haven't even gotten to any of the suspenseful parts, but that was like this is the real deal.
Yeah, because back then you couldn't even comprehend them doing something like this.
But even now, when they do like animal movement, and I think a big part of it was that even though it was CGI, it was still Stan Winston's team at the helm, like of the motion capture and everything. I think that helped a lot, because even when you watch movies like modern films with CG creatures in it, even real life creatures that are just in CG, not like monsters and stuff, you can tell that their movements are not natural. They're moving a little funny, whatever. These guys had the movements down. I think that's what really makes this more of a timeless film, even though the CG itself may not necessarily hold up as well. Like the movements, the fluidity of it all.
Also, the direction, like they know the camera doesn't linger on these things for too long. Right. You see it enough to get the emotional charge, then you move on to something else.
Yeah.
And you're switching between that and the puppets, and you're like, never do you question that these are not
Spielberg
there.
knows what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
As much garbage as he's put out over the years.
I mean, he's revolutionized several genres of cinema at different points.
Like,
he tries new things. It doesn't always work, but
but he tries.
But yeah, much so we brought up before, the Ray Harryhausen style thing. I think it's similar to that, where like you can say what you want, but it still has a certain style to it. It still kind of works with like the stop motion animation, and this is the same level with the CGI. Like, yeah, later on you might laugh a little at it because you might, how outdated it is down the line, but like it will hold up enough to still be a good movie and not have it be a big problem.
I wrote at this.
I think so.
I wrote at this point in my notes. I wrote just.
Do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur? Which is a line from Fallen Kingdom, which you haven't seen, so I don't expect you to get that. But
needless to say, this is one point where I think everybody, who was our age, was rocked by this film.
Yeah, because I see what you were saying about like years later, the awe doesn't fully get you as much, but like
the memory sure does.
Yeah, not only can I put myself there, but also just thinking what it would be like to be them, and like you look over and this thing that you've been looking up bones for your whole life, you've dedicated your whole life to finding out more about it, and here's a live freaking specimen of it just wandering around.
Let's talk about that. The reaction.
They're selling it.
Was perfect.
Yeah.
Even Jeff Goldblum gave a shit, and that doesn't happen very often.
Well, he did it in that kind of like cynical way, like, oh, okay, yeah, it's cool, man. But like Grant was like, you could tell the dude was on the verge of a heart attack.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like flipping out, like he was not Shia LaBeoufing.
Yeah. His system was genuinely shut.
He was just like shutting down. He couldn't couldn't process it.
Yeah, he was on the verge of tears of joy.
Yeah, it was great.
John Hammond's walk towards the camera The welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was on point, man.
I was watching a behind the scenes YouTube documentary, and Laura Dern was talking about how all they had to go on was a piece of paper hung high in the air with a Sharpie X drawn on it. So like to get those kind of reaction shots to that is pretty impressive.
You can see some of the. I've seen a few of the clips and stuff, and it's great because they have it's tantamount to a giant popsicle stick with just like flat piece of paper cut out like a T-Rex head for all the T-Rex chase scenes, and it's just like a guy chasing after him with this big stupid thing, and like,
I mean, if somebody chased after me with a giant T-Rex head on a popsicle stick, I'd probably freak out.
You'd run
too.
towards them.
with
I would,
Spielberg,
yeah.
Spielberg behind on the microphone, just roll.
I'd be like, Steven, would you sign the popsicle stick? And I can have it, maybe.
Adopt me.
He would just base you in the face. He'd be like, thank you.
Security.
Yeah. Daddy.
So that just reminded me when you're talking about like the showing what they're actually looking at. I love on the Lord of the Rings DVDs, there's a great scene where they're doing a set test of Bag End. It's not painted at all. So it's just like the outline of Bag End essentially. And it's Peter Jackson and a man holding like a paper mache head on a stick as Gandalf. And Peter Jackson's playing Bilbo.
All right.
It was just funny.
Yeah, but that is a good point. At the time of filming this, they had no idea how this movie was going to work because if they would decide to go with the CGI. Or actually, I don't even know if at that point they had decided fully on the CGI or if they were still trying to think of stop motion. But like, depending on how that turned out, this movie could have been amazing or it could have been garbage. So, I mean, that was a big thing.
See also Carnosaur.
Also, at this point, well played. They're like, I mean, you already know. You're in a theater. You know they have a T-Rex. But they're like, oh, by the way, we have a T-Rex.
Yeah.
So you're feeling all this wonder, and you're like, oh, God.
Yeah, so you're 13 years old. You're in the theater. You're like, you just feeling, you're mind flooded right now. And all of a sudden you hear the words T-Rex. And you're like, oh, crap, I'm 13 years old and I have this giant erection. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
This is really embarrassing. I have a giant T-Rex erection.
Oh, Lord Jesus, there's a fire.
I didn't grab my shoes or nothing.
I didn't know dinosaurs could give me a boner, but
Well, I did.
oh man, well you did.
I had known for a long time.
It's happening right now.
And,
But you didn't know dinosaurs could give you that kind of a boner.
Oh, no, I did not. Because, I wasn't a man yet. The dinosaur made me a man.
I also wrote in my notes, fuck it, it is beautiful. I don't know why. I'm not sure what I was thinking.
Maybe you were
when I
like, oh, the CGI is not holding up so great.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. No, it's
Probably.
fucking beautiful.
All right, so we go back to the compound. We're about to get the little tour, I believe here.
Sweet looking visitor center.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the visitor center is iconic. It's beautiful.
Got some dinosaur skeletons up in there. Just so you can think about what you're missing. You're like,
You're like,
yeah, why don't you head down to the gift shop?
there you go again. They're like, there's a T-Rex skeleton right there. They linger on it for a little bit, give you one of those like boom.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, you see how big the skeleton is? Yeah, imagine what it's like with freaking meat on it.
By the way, this is why Universal just make this. Just make this. They have a version of this. It's not the same.
Yeah, they also have like 100th of the square footage to put it on.
Well, you just need the visitor center. You don't need the whole Jurassic Park.
They have a
Or, but
room
like
that's
at least
themed similar to it.
yeah. But like I want to walk into this visitor center, and I would be happy to spend the rest of the day there.
It's called Go to a Museum.
No, but he wants
Still-
this visitor.
want-
I
merch,
want
with the
to,
merch.
yeah, I want to feel like I'm in Jurassic Park. Okay, it's not just about the bones. It's
I
about
want the collective
idea.
China
Yeah, that's
plates
right.
and the apron and the hat,
I want that
the mug.
Chilean sea bass with the shredded carrots and or cheddar cheese on top.
The little animated raptor that sings "Don't Worry, Be Happy."
So,
Anyway,
moving on, we get to meet an important character.
multiplicity.
Multiplicity.
Oh,
okay.
Mr. DNA. Is
So-
that the important character you're talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah. So, quick note with this.
Yeah.
John Hammond's like, we got this little, presentation we do. It's going to be a little ride, show you how everything's about. Which also, brilliant thing on Spielberg's part, because for those who've read the book, they know, like, several chapters, I believe, in the beginning are all about the bullshit of how we came to get dinosaur DNA and start this whole process. We solve all that with the help of Mr. DNA. Like a few minutes and you're caught up. Don't need to go into it all. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But John Hammond is like, what?
I do also like it that they chose to do a cartoon for exposition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes up there and he's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to talk to myself, but I need a little of your blood." Like, is he supposed to be there for every one of these tours?
That's what I was thinking too.
He does say it's temporary. This like how the way the ride's formatted is temporary. He's going to change it. He's saying that to Gennaro at one point.
Well, he says like the sound effects are going to be in.
Well, the sound effects,
Yeah.
well, the whole thing is kind of temporary, but also it's probably going to be like the Terminator ride at Universal. Remember that?
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be a dude dressed as John Hammond, like
Yeah.
up there.
Colonel Sanders.
Yes, Colonel Sanders outfit. It's like it might be Norm Macdonald. Hey, Mr. DNA, and that's the news, or whatever he does. I don't know. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
All right, please stop.
Gennaro's like, are these characters autoerotica?
Nope, it's all real people.
I said yes.
Well, yeah, maybe they're off time. But
That's their business.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, was he aroused?
P.D. Wong probably was. We won't find that out till several movies down the line.
So yeah, they're just like, fuck this. Fuss Roda the rail.
Yeah.
Just get off the ride.
Like, yeah, oh wait, that's actually them making dinosaurs. I want to see that. They break the ride and they jump off. We're seeing around how babies are made, how Babby formed,
Yeah.
and I guess apparently also I don't know how this works, but John Hammond's been there for every one of their births.
Yeah, that's not. That can't possibly.
It's
Yeah,
been like a smart business.
no, they
strategy.
tell him that.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
In his mind, there's only like 5 dinosaurs on the whole island. He's like, wait, there's 50? What the fuck?
We have a T-Rex. Oh, we have 5. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
let the old man. Hey, John's here. Get the egg puppet out of here.
So you get to see a little baby velociraptor.
He's been baby talking for real friends for the past 3 years.
Yeah. So yeah, John Hammond, he looks at his Kinder Joy egg, and the toy pops out.
B.D. Wong is just standing back there with a boglin, like, yeah, daddy,
I'll eat your peas.
I'll eat your piece.
So yeah, and like then fucking Dr. Grant's like, what species is this? It's like, you know what fucking species it is. It's goddamn, it's Velociraptor. Come on.
Let's not play games here.
He says, you bred raptors, and then spikes that baby on the floor and stomps it with his boot. No, he coddles it.
There's no reason to have this thing. It's a threat to everyone.
Yeah, like why?
That's basically what Ian
Killing
Malcolm
machine.
So they're too smart to keep contained. They're too dangerous to really have out. Tony's absolutely right, and Muldoon is right. They should all be destroyed.
Well, I
like the-
I'll give them, maybe they didn't know how smart they were till they bred them. Why they continued breeding them, I don't know.
It's like,
Well,
hey,
that's why you keep the ones you have. Like,
it's like, well, we gave all of our staff diarrhea. Why? For science. Okay.
We keep giving them to the Chilean sea bass.
It's like,
I also
why
love
did you do that?
the idea here, like, yeah, we shouldn't have had raptors. The T-Rex was a big problem. I don't know what the hell we were thinking. This was a terrible idea. Let's breed them together and make a bigger monster.
All of our animals have dinosaur aids.
Get the
Why
Indominus rat.
Why didn't you breed that out of them? Well, it's more authentic.
So, yeah, this is when Ian Malcolm, he's like, no, this can't possibly work. This is too damn dangerous. What happens when they start breeding in the wild. And then B.D. Wong's like, well, they're all female. And he's like, oh, life finds a way. Or life will find a way.
He turns into Mark Wahlberg for a minute.
Yeah.
He's like, what? No, Dr. Malcolm, no. They don't have any dicks, bro. They're all girls.
What, does somebody go over and lift up all their skirts?
I do. Hammond does every time they hatch. He
All
checks
5
it.
times.
He sexes them all.
So Grant has his
Put
look on
my
his
finger in
face
this
like,
hole and figure out what it is.
You have butterfingers.
Grant has this look on his face like, in 45 minutes, they're going to drop some bullshit on me as to how they're getting around this.
Coupon day.
Do we ever find out how Hammond has all this money to just?
Flea circus.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right, checks out.
Scottish
Franchise,
Scottish
the
flea circus.
Franchise,
Well, I mean,
the flea
in the
circus.
80s to the 90s, I think you could actually still make money with amusement parks.
Did he own InGen or was he just working with InGen?
No, he founded InGen, if I remember correctly. Like the first thing was he had the flea circus, and then from that he like started in genetic engineering.
Oh yeah, total,
That makes
makes
sense, yeah.
total progression. Yeah,
It's a lateral shift, really.
Little robotic seesaw that you pretend has fleas on it.
So,
Start
all right.
splicing.
Full
clones
disclosure,
and
it's
shit.
been
20 minutes since you watched this movie.
well, yeah, it's been 1 week since you looked at me. No, but it's been like 25 years since I read the book.
yeah. I'm not even sure
Roughly.
if they say, but it's just got to be a
because
fuck
he
ton amount of money.
started with like he started the flea circus, and then he made like sideshow attractions genetically. Like
Okay.
he made tiny elephants or something, and so he was selling
Okay.
tiny animals as like pets. Like it was a whole thing.
That
so
mermaid
checks
that's
out
just a
more.
monkey sewed to a
yeah,
vase or
it
whatever.
was 5-assed monkey.
He did the famous Loch Ness photo. It's just a brachiosaur head in the water.
It was just a dick pic in the pool.
Shrugged through a lot of filters.
Exactly.
It's just me in the bathtub.
my little hand.
My hungry little caterpillar.
Oh God.
All right, well that makes sense.
Do you
All
have
right,
a bush
thanks.
for me?
So now we go see
cleared it up. Yep.
Now we go see the raptor pen, and we meet Muldoon.
They should all be destroyed.
Muldoon's he's the badass guy.
He is. He's the Crocodile Dundee of the film.
the
I
Great
guess.
White Hunter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't really understand how shotgun's folding stock works, but
No, but
he's a badass guy.
But he unfolds it coolly because it's a movie.
eventually.
Well,
Don't just.
Yeah, we'll get to this later.
if
So,
we're gonna talk about people improperly using guns, we'll get
there's a few instances.
Yeah.
All right, so you see the raptor pen. You don't get to see the raptors yet, but you get to see them seeing the raptors,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh,
I mean, we don't even know if they see the raptors. They just see moving foliage.
but
And a cow gets.
And a
they're
cow
not
gets
happy
destroyed.
about the raptors. Yeah, there's
No.
got to be a better way of feeding the cow to these things.
Like,
Gotta
I
get a new
understand-
harness every time. That's
Yeah.
that doesn't make much
I mean,
sense.
can we just drop the cow? Like, do we need to?
Right,
Does it need to be alive?
break its
when we
legs?
bring it in?
right? They don't seem to care that it's alive because it's not moving anyway.
Yeah.
Well, even if you don't, I mean, we don't have to go that far, but like, have biodegradable straps or something. Not necessarily, but like
yeah.
Edible
something that
underwear.
cuts free.
Just put the cow
something
down there
that
in
cuts
edible
free
underwear.
when you drive. It gets low enough.
The cow's like, oh, I'm going on a little adventure. This is nice. Oh God, what's happening?
Just shoot it in the head and dump it over the side.
Yeah.
Just strap it in with fruit by the foot. All right?
Like a mafia style killing. Just double tap to the dome and
Yes.
push it over the
Put cement
wall.
on its hooves and drop it in.
Hang the part of the cow you guys aren't going to eat on a rope through, over the cage. Something, I don't know. Either way, not only did they destroy this cow and keep its blood from hitting the harness, but
Well,
they fucked the harness up some of the years too.
Yeah.
They're slowly taking parts from harnesses and building something to get out.
They're just standing back there they're standing down there like the cow's not even dead. That's why there's no blood. They're standing there with box cutters, just like hacking the harness off.
They're
Like
making like a little catapult to shoot the raptors out.
they're gonna
pulling
find
off-
cows like in Monty Python.
And they're pulling off little strips, then they're getting a cow skull, and they're going to make a little grappling hook. Just throw it over the rail.
That's it. They're just taking a little piece of the harness every time.
Yeah.
They're gonna make a ladder to go out.
I'm like, why the hell are there even trees in this enclosure?
I don't understand. It's
Like-
not like a proper viewing enclosure.
The damn honey badger when they gave it a stick, was just like, oh, okay, just prop that against the wall and climbed out of the enclosure. Like the raptors would be out of there in no time.
Yeah. That's what they're doing. They're just piling cows on top of each other and they're going to climb them up.
All right. So anyway, now we go to lunch. We get that Chilean sea bass.
Chilean sea bass.
And everyone's fucking pissed.
They're so mad.
Except for the lawyer. He's just like, oh, we're gonna print money.
Yeah, we're gonna be so rich.
We're gonna be fucking rich.
But everybody's like, we're gonna be so dead. You can't do this. This is a terrible idea. Malcolm gives his whole little speech.
Mm-hmm. The speech that I feel is applicable to the DC.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've gone over.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
It's like you stood on the shoulders of giants. And you took what others did, and you did it yourselves, and you didn't earn it.
Before you even knew what you had, you just packaged it and you're just selling it. It's on lunch boxes.
Say, we got Black Manta. Watch it. You want to watch it. You want to see it.
Suicide Squad. We got Aquaman. Man of Steel.
We got Jason Momoa as the party god.
Everyone loves Joker.
Party
No
wolf.
colors. I mean, bright colors.
Yeah, no colors. Medium drab colors. World War II. Oh, now it's a cartoon world.
You didn't like Batman vs Superman? That's all right. We got the Teen Titans. They say fuck Batman too.
We got a Flash show. Wait, that's not good enough. We have a different Flash for the movie.
So
Deathstroke? What? No. Twice.
basically, yeah, everyone. Well, he's like, me and Malcolm's like, fuck this thing. This is not a good idea. Dr. Sadler's like, you guys don't know how any of these things are going to interact with each other. And you haven't studied them long enough to know how they're going to behave. And you're already opening an amusement park, which is a valid complaint.
Yeah, she's like, I bet if I went out right now, there would be a Triceratops with Firea out there in the field.
Pile of shit bigger than me.
Yeah.
And then basically Dr. Grant's like, why don't we wait and see?
Yeah. And Hammond's like, oh, this is not how I expected this to go.
Yeah, the general consensus. Sorry, what?
Well, before the kids show up and interrupt it, Hammond's actually looking for a secret control panel that's going to dump their chairs.
Dr. Evil's tiger.
Yeah, the tiger pit. Yeah.
What am I
Velociraptor.
Yeah, the Velociraptor pen.
He's actually had 3 trips worth
That
of
would be-
people already.
That would be brilliant.
That'd be great if they did like a Death Proof style, like just make a whole new movie. Like you just see one shot of the 3 of them being loaded into the Velociraptor pen. And you meet 3 new experts. Like the movie basically starts over.
This is not right. I wore my tearaway pants because I thought you'd all be filleting me by now.
No, but that's the thing. Like, at this point in the movie, 3 experts that came along with him are all like, you're not ready to do this. You shouldn't do this. The people that work for him, that set up the systems and everything are like, we're not ready to do this. We shouldn't be doing this. Like, how much is it going to take for you to be like, you know what? Let's delay the opening for a little bit. How about that?
Well,
Just delay
it's not even an opening. They're just trying to figure out if
What the fuck is going
anything
on?
works.
I know, but like he's just like, no, we're good. We're good. Just keep going. And they're like, no, we're so not.
He's like, I've got the first people reserved for next.
He's got a problem in that it's a movie and he's got to do dramatic reveals. Because he should just be like, before he takes these people to the island, he's like, look, I got some goddamn dinosaurs. You want to go look at them? Here's what you got to do. You got to give me this awesome recommendation.
Sign me up.
And then you could go look at all kinds of dinosaurs.
You just write whatever you want. I'll sign it.
Yeah. And be like, you know what? Hey, Gennaro, those investors that are whining about everything, why don't we send them to the park? And them look at some goddamn
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
we got dinosaurs.
And then you could be like, all right, we'll, they'll be like, how much money do you need? How much time do you need? We'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to play my hand too early, but dinosaurs.
Yeah. What would you say if I could show you a real life dinosaur? All right, now write that down. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
So I have a Milky Way in my mouth.
Well, I have the spirit of a
The
Milky
movie's
Way in
like,
my
all
mouth.
right, bear with us. This is never going to pay off, but you got to go along with it anyway. We're injecting 2 kids into it because Spielberg.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Spielberg.
Because while I defended the kids in Jurassic World, because they did actually like convey the
Yeah, they had some,
they conveyed the wonder of the park and everything.
Right.
This one, it's like, you don't need some kids to do that. Like, just that first scene where you debuted the Brachiosaur.
Right, wonder.
But it's
achieved.
not a Spielberg movie unless a child's in danger.
Indeed.
Right.
Yeah, literally every single.
Which is why I'm saying it would have been great in the beginning if we had an 11-minute long, really uncomfortable, quiet scene of just Grant smacking this child.
Sadly,
That would be
having
your
to
child.
pull him off.
You know, I was going to say Saving Private Ryan didn't have a kid in danger, but there was the fucking sniper scene where Vin Diesel grabs a kid and gets killed. Yeah. Fucking all of his movies have a kid in danger.
Does he at least say, I am Groot before he gets shot?
No,
Or
unfortunately.
Superman.
Maybe one of the Indiana Jones.
He probably in his head says Superman. Or maybe whatever his character's name is. I don't know. Car behind the wood elf. I don't know what Vin Diesel.
What are we talking about?
Vin Diesel's roleplay characters. I don't know what they are.
I don't know either.
I can't. Stop.
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks. Yeah, that's what he is. He grabs the kid and says, "Street Sharks."
that was Slammer? Was that what it was? Sumo Slammer?
Hammerhead.
All right. So anyway, Samuel L. Jackson shows up. He's like, "Let's begin this damn tour. Hold on to your butts. Get in the car."
Yep.
Grant plays this exactly right. He's like, he sees this kid. This kid's like, "I got so many things to talk to you about." He's like, "I don't give one fuck. What car are you going in? Get in that car." All right, I'm in the other car.
This is pretty much my relationship with my wife.
With what?
With my wife.
Yeah.
She starts talking and you close the door in her face?
No, like she's like, "Hey, why don't you interact with some other human beings?" And I'm like, "Nah, I can't. I can't do this.
I'll be in the other car.
I'll be in the other car." It's like, we only have one car. I'll be in the other car.
I'll find a way.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Life will find a way.
Yeah, I'll take an Uber to whatever.
So
I am kind of interested how this panned out. We don't get to fully see it, but like he finally ditches the little boy and the girl is sent over to him. And it's like, she told me to get in, go with you because it'd be good for you. And he's just like, fuck you so much, but somehow gets out of that.
What's the water, Joe?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
So, nope, not good. Keep going.
Drax. It's that cookie come back to haunt us.
Yeah.
The Gennaro's in the car with the two kids in front, and then back it's Malcolm Grant and Sadler.
Yes. And we're off to see the nothing.
But it's it's narrated by Richard Kiley.
Yeah.
Those of you listening at home, if you have any idea who Richard Kiley is, raise your hands.
Write in, let us know.
Yeah, right. You know what? No, you will write in. So I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to Google it. And we're going to do it real time. And
Oh, good. Real time.
yeah, I mean, if you guys
All right.
want to like fill in, okay, here we go. American television actor Richard Kiley. What? Oh, so he's dead. First of all, he died in 1999, so that tells you something right there. He was in Hawaii 5-0. So
Okay. Does he look familiar?
his last credit was Jurassic Park.
Oh.
His-
Wait,
and-
the first one?
Yeah, the first one where he does the voice acting. But he was. Oh no, that's not true. He was in Patch Adams in '98.
What?
And Phenomenon. What the? Who is this guy actually famous?
Rob, of course he's famous. They spared no expense.
Oh, Michael Jeter was in. Wait, so Michael Jeter was also in Patch Adams. So we have a Jurassic Park link. You know what I'm saying? He was Dr. Titan in that film.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So, did we go through the Jurassic Park gates yet?
We're just going through them now. So we've got the kids on board the cars,
Yep.
and we are headed through Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
gates.
Park gates are cool as hell.
Oh yeah, they absolutely are. Again, if I ever win $1 bajillion, it's pretty much going to be the entrance to my property.
Yeah. And you're going to hit it with your car every day. when
Every
you
day.
Come in there.
Every day. I mean, that's fine. Like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I won't because
You'll stay in there the whole time.
you guys know I'm never
Yeah.
leaving if I have all that money. If I
Well,
don't
no,
have
you're going to
work-
take a car and hit it from the other side, so now they can't open ever.
I'm just going to park my car on the other side.
Just
You guys will have to helicopter in.
John Hammond style.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to want to see the inside of that place.
Well, it'll be Howard Hughes-esque, but
That's the problem.
We'll all be hanging out in there while Rob's just like naked in a room talking about putting cookies in a bag.
Jars of pee.
collecting my
peas every-
pee.
Because it's like one shelf, it's all jars of Legos. The other shelf is all jars of pee.
And at this point, you can't even tell which is which.
Yep.
It's so many
How
colors.
quickly we go aside.
Yeah. So we're on the official tour now. They're running the test of the tour.
These Jeeps on tracks.
So, I'll admit there's a scene at this point that I kind of missed where Nedry and Hammond are yelling about to each other about Nedry's financial irresponsibility.
Yeah.
Did they say why?
I think he alludes to he owes a bunch of money for something. Probably
I think
like
gambling.
Yeah, probably
kind
some
of-
And
kind
then
of loan
Hammond
sharks.
won't pay.
Yeah, he's basically just I can use some more money. He's
It's
like
just brazzers.
Yeah.
you we have an agreement. You get paid a salary and like shut the hell up because I'm not going to give you more money just because you blew your money on the tracks or something.
The Raptor tracks.
The Raptor tracks.
Well, probably the freaking like it's all his entire salary is in the vending machines of this building.
It's in wrappers around his desk.
Yeah, like
It's just buried on his desk somewhere. He can't find his paycheck.
that could also be the case. He may have eaten it. I don't know.
All right. So, yeah, they have a little argument. And basically, you're like, all right, Nedry's he's a sloppy, irresponsible fucker. And so he's mad that Hammond won't bail him out.
You have butterfingers.
Yeah, basically, I want you to pay me more money. He's like, I want you to do your damn job. Like, fix all these little bugs and stuff. And he's like, oh, I'll do it in a moment, but it's going to shut some things down.
So we go to the Tyrannosaur paddock. Why that's first on the tour?
The Dilophosaur paddock was first, actually.
Dilophosaur. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but both
It's hard
were
to tell
no-shows.
because, nothing happens.
I know that in a zoo you do want to give your animals some space where they can go like hide from people every once in a while so they could get some private time. But I mean, like, it's your T-Rex. You gotta do something.
But here's I don't understand the physics of these paddocks at all.
You need a diagram.
I really
It
do.
may entirely just be possible that it's just at the bottom of this giant moat.
Yeah, but how does the Tyrannosaurus get out?
I don't know, but I mean, right now it might just be at the bottom of this giant moat, and you can't see the fucking thing.
So
He's right at the gate there, but it's too far down.
But Tony made a really good point. Like where the Rex pushes the car over, it's the same spot where it broke out earlier.
Yeah.
So it's just a sheer drop off.
Yeah.
So was he like sneaking
Did it
along
climb
the
the
edge?
tree? Like,
I think that T-Rex got mad ups.
yeah.
Just
Yeah, I
It's a
don't
hell of a jump.
like. I don't get how a lot of the layout of this works.
Now, again, like that all could have been solved when you were pulling up, and you could have said like one side has a sheer drop, other side is
that's
the
what
T-Rex
I thought.
enclosure.
But the other side has the bathroom. It's
Yeah.
not a drop off. So
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. Either way, the part he walked through that gate became a sheer drop shortly after he stepped through it. So either he climbed, he flew, or it magically just sank like 300 feet after he stepped off it.
So anyway, I really don't. So maybe like here's the theory. All right, maybe it was foreshadowing in the beginning when Hammond said, "No wonder these guys learned how to fly." Maybe he was saying like dinosaurs didn't evolve into birds; they just learned how to fly.
They can just levitate.
Yeah.
I actually mentioned that later on not to jump ahead too much, but at one point a raptor pokes its head through when they're climbing through the ceiling vents, and then afterwards we see when it drops through, it falls a good distance to the ground. So that means that raptor could have only been floating in midair to do that.
Could be.
Physics is all fucked up here.
Yeah, they don't quite have flight yet, but they can hover pretty damn well.
I mean, hovering. If you have hovering, do you need flight that much? But yeah, so I don't really understand how the layout of this works. So they have the goat. They have a little goat pop up at the edge of the T-Rex paddock, and I couldn't tell you where. Like, show me where the hell is this happening right now? Like, it's
Like Joe said, we need a diagram.
Yeah. We need just one far shot establishing where everything is in this paddock.
Yeah, like so maybe it's I don't know. So like
Take a moment. Take a
it just
breather.
hurts.
Gather your thoughts.
Yeah.
So, either way, they move on. So Ian Malcolm puts his face in the camera and is like, are there going to be any dinos on your dino tour? And-
Yep, a sick one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And John Hammond's like, I hate that man.
Yeah.
Malcolm's like, all right, now that he hates me, I'm going to go hit on Dr. Sadler.
Oh yeah.
Explain my chaos theory all over her.
So he's trying to chaos all over her face. And they're like
Smelling her hair and shit.
Yeah.
He's getting way too touchy-feely.
it really is. And so they're like tooling along and all of a sudden they run into an area that just has no fences for some reason.
I guess.
You would think on the tour, like every part of it would be just fenced
Yeah.
off, just for safety.
Just to make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, even if they have like, gateways for employees, whatever, you think the whole area would be fenced. No, it's just an open area. It's a field. There's just a triceratops there.
And if you're sparing no expense, this road should be elevated like a highway.
It should. And there should be locking mechanisms on the vehicle doors.
Yes.
But no, so there's this triceratops and Grant and
He
Sattler.
spared no expense, but no locking mechanisms.
Spared no expense, but a lot of fence.
He spared some details. So, the Grant and Sattler just like bolt out of this car. They're like, oh, sick dinosaur. Let me just get AIDS all over my face. So they're like just going down. There's this sick triceratops. And Dr. Harding is there. And he's like, yeah, this dinosaur's sick, but I don't know why. Sattler's like, dude, sit your bitch ass down. Let me tell you what's up here. This dinosaur's eyes are dilated. Maybe that should have been the first thing you check.
The dinosaur's sick, but I'm not sure why. Like, have you looked at it? Oh, I didn't think of that.
I've been standing here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looking
Well,
at it.
I just diagnosed that sick. At first, I thought I was just tripping balls.
I mean, it could be. Its eyes are dilated. Look at that. Look at its tongue is sticking out of its head. You don't realize there's things on its tongue.
Get a
Like,
shot from from the Triceratops's view, and they're talking. It's just like,
It's just Beavis and Buttheads. And it's like, what are you doing here, man? Just give me your flashlight and go home. You missed. Shouldn't you be on a boat right now? Like, get out of here.
oh yeah. At this point, you also find out they're tracking a tropical storm that's coming towards. the
Yeah,
island.
there's a storm coming.
I don't know if you guys saw on IMDb, but apparently Wayne Knight did the mocap for that sick Triceratops.
No, it was that was all practical effects. I think you misread. I think Wayne Knight, it was just the mold they used.
Oh yeah, that's what it
They
was.
just poured the
He was supplying the breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was inside the suit.
it's just a skin tight dinosaur costume.
I will say though, like interacting
Dino
with a
Wednesday.
puppet certainly does boost Laura Dern's acting here. Like,
It does. Like she was crying. Like Grant was all up on this thing, and yeah, it's very emotional scene because you can tell that it's actually there. They're interacting with it. They're picking goobers off its tongue.
Looking at it, shit.
Yeah, it's just elbow deep.
Right. in there.
Spielberg strategically uses his swear word for the PG-13 movie.
Yep. Which I mean, he gets a couple
polish it.
more in there, like which will later on a little bit, but so it was a good scene.
Nice view of the poo.
But the thunder starts rolling in, and Gennaro's just like, all right, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Like out in the middle of tropical island. There's a storm
Some more
coming.
Chilean
So
sea bass.
Samuel L. Jackson, he's like, look, you white people are out there
Yeah, crazy ass crackers. Need
with the dinosaurs
the
in a
hell
storm.
inside, man.
Like, get back inside.
Dinos in the stone.
But I look at this like, Gennaro, he's scared. Ooh, what a crappy lawyer. And I'm just like, it's common sense, man. Get out of there. What's the matter with you? It's like all those assholes that are like, oh, there's a hurricane coming. I'm not leaving my house. And then you're like, oh, 50 dead. Well,
It just reminds me when about 10 years ago, I drove across the country. And when I was in South Dakota in the Badlands, there's bison wandering around.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl who I was driving across the country with, who's really, really into animals, she was actually driving to California to be part of Jack Hanna's preserve. But she's like, oh, bison, just gets out of the car and just goes over to a bison. And I'm sitting there. And I'm like, Janara, I'm in the car. I'm locking the door. I'm like, get back in the fucking car.
Those bison do not know that
No.
you are friendly.
No, and that bison is taller at the shoulder than she is tall. And like, 20 times her weight.
And it has heard many family tales about how we pale faces have wiped out his kind.
So it's funny because that thing couldn't have given one fuck. Like she walked right up to it. There's like birds hanging out on it. It's just like eating the grass. She just like went over and petted it. Didn't care.
Well, I mean, it's good that it was in a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm freaking out in the car. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Which does bring up another good point for the lawyer there, which is we have this one sick triceratops, but I'm sure there's others somewhere around here.
Well, yeah,
they might not be as happy to have you in their little paddock.
Dinosaur AIDS epidemic going around here.
Cover your butts.
Hold on to your butts. The only way to stave it off is by smoking.
All right. So Nedry's like, this is my time.
Yep.
Let's start this this program here.
He put on his how-to QuickTime video.
Live feed slash.
His live feed. Yeah, I'll make it down to the boat.
He's like, I'm going to be the most suspicious thing ever and just be like, does anyone want anything from the vending machine? Because I'm going to the vending machine. Yeah. I figured you might want something.
I know I've never offered you anything ever before, and I'm really just a burden on everyone and everything around me, but
I'm just going to the vending machine. That's all I'm going to. Nothing other than the vending machine. By the way, everything's going to shut off in a minute. Bye!
I mean, it's fucking Nedry. He should have just been like, I gotta run to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I gotta take a shit.
We're having my back end's having a clearance sale. Everything's got to go.
It's time again for my once a half hour emergency shit. So
Been eating all these Fritos.
I'm going to drop the kids off at the pool. Deuces!
then I'll just be jerking it until League of Legends gets invented.
All right, so he just fucks off and runs to the embryo room. Like there's only like 3 damn people in the complex.
Yeah,
so,
they're all out.
Yeah, he just snatches up them embryos.
Smart times. Mm-hmm. He eats as many as he can and puts the rest in the barbasol can.
Well, it's the thing, like he's got 15 minutes to get there, and it normally takes him 18. And there's a tropical storm on.
Yeah.
So, he's rushed. So why he spends a minute telling them about the damn vending machine, I don't know.
Well, that was part of it. He spends 3.5 minutes telling them about the vending machine.
Yeah, well, no, originally he's in the bathroom taking a dump for those 3 minutes. Okay. So,
it's more than that.
So power goes out for the tour. Well, all the security goes down, and sure enough, the tour stops right at the T-Rex paddock.
Yep.
Everything shuts down. They're not sure what's going on. The lights are off. They can't see anything. But all of a sudden, we hear a little noise.
The goat is like, this is a nice place to take a little goat nap.
And then suddenly his leg is on the top of the car.
Lamb chops, anyone?
The vibrations in the puddle. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. That famously is done by a guitar string being plucked underneath.
I did not know that, but that makes a lot of sense. I just assumed they just slammed something heavy into the ground.
Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't work, but I guess that didn't give them the effect they wanted or something. But yeah, they just couldn't find a way to get it to happen until somebody was trying to figure it out while noodling on his guitar at home and realized one particular string made it happen.
All right, but actually, before we talk about that, there's the critical. They go to access Nedry's computer, and you get Elvis Nedry going,
You didn't say the magic word. Didn't say the magic word.
Causes Samuel Jackson to yell, please, at the computer.
Please!
He was not yet allowed to say motherfucker.
Yeah. The nicest you'll ever see Samuel Jackson.
Well, they use they throw the hacker word around a lot.
I don't know anything about this hacker shit.
I hate this hacker
Well,
crap.
but it was the night. They didn't know anything about this hacker.
Yeah, it's like, what's the internet?
Hacker just meant you know how to use the internet to some degree.
How far off were we from the net? So
Probably
we didn't know shit from shit.
probably around the same time, right?
I think so.
Close to it. I'm feeling speed is like 94, and then I think the net was like right after that.
95, yeah.
I don't know why I know that. All right.
Somebody watches the net too much.
Once was too much.
Point is, we had no idea computer stuff. They knew the buzzwords. They threw them in there. It's all good.
All right. So now we got to talk about this.
Like how cool a CD-ROM is.
Yeah, interactive CD-ROM.
All right. So now we got to talk about the scene.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like when you think Jurassic Park, you think of this scene, and you think of the bit at the end. But this scene probably first.
And you try not to think about the physics of it because then you're like, your brain just falls out of your head.
No, but it quickly doesn't matter because you're like, how is it getting up there?
You're like, I don't care.
Yeah. Now you're like, I don't care. It's here.
Great.
Whatever.
Okay, yeah.
It's here.
And this is what I'm talking about with the difference of nitpicking, because upon multiple viewings, this bugs me a lot. But certainly the first time I saw this, I was like, how did it? I don't know, whatever. It's a dinosaur.
Oh, hidden elevator. The goat has a hidden elevator. T-Rex probably has a hidden elevator.
Could be.
Could very well be.
Just took the elevator up.
So
Rode that goat right on him.
I don't know why the elevator worked when the power was out, but it did.
it's raining. These cars are stopped in the middle of the road.
Actually, now I'm imagining it's like that. I think it was a Call of Duty glitch where the goat just like went up a ladder.
It's just
Like
his
the-
four legs are running on the air and it just goes up the
Yeah,
ladder.
it's just the T-Rex walking against the side of this paddock until it just starts going up.
Oh, you think it just clipped?
Yeah,
Clipped up?
basically.
It's like the guy's firing like a machine gun full auto, runs into a ladder, and his legs are just going like that, and he flies up a ladder. Anyway, so yeah, there's a fucking T-Rex here.
Oh yeah, this is badass.
Yeah. So it's just like, what are these? This is some metal things. Might be I smell something's in there I want.
Yeah.
Gotta look around.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's not even. He seems to have no interest in them whatsoever. Till Lex pulls out the light and
Yep.
starts flashing
The
around.
high-powered
Yeah.
military-grade flashlight.
Yeah.
Because Grant's like, Lex, you don't understand my made-up science. They're completely blind if you don't move. I know they got binocular vision, but whatever, dog. They can't see you.
But so she starts flashing this around. He's like, "Oh, this looks like something.
And then
Let me
why-
check it out."
Why would you? So, all right. You guys are in a car. It's dark. I'll grant you that. It's spooky. It's rainy. Tyrannosaurus Rex chilling around the cars. You breaking out a flashlight right now? Or are you sitting and pretending you don't exist?
Kids are dumb.
Yeah.
Even as a kid,
And
though.
the lawyer fucked off fast.
I know
Yeah.
when I was a kid and there was something I was afraid of, like, I did not exist. I was like a pebble in the ocean. I was like
Like when girls
No,
walk
if there
by.
were,
yeah, exactly. Well, I do that now, but like,
yeah, and like now how I handle women, like if there was a blanket there, I would have hidden under it.
yeah. Like, I'm not here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is T-Rex? Oh, there seems to be two perfectly good grown-ass men right over there. Maybe you should have some of those because I don't exist right now.
It'd be kind of awesome if she just threw the flashlight out the car at the other car. She's like, "Go get him! Fuck them!"
So the lawyer is like, bathroom emergency, gotta go.
Yeah.
Legitimate. Don't no disputing that.
To be fair, I had the same problem when the T-Rex came out. You know what I'm saying?
Different reasons.
All right, so T-Rex is like, oh, so these wires? Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Just rips those out. No problem.
Power's off, and I'm strong enough to get through that. So fuck.
It's like, I appreciate you trying to keep me safe, but I don't need these right now. That's cool.
Thanks.
So, yes, now it's like, why is there a light on in here? What's going on in this car? And then it's like, oh, doesn't look like anything. So the kid's like, okay. And he's like, smash through the roof.
I kill you.
How this glass pane and these two kids hold up against the T-Rex? Because if the glass pane is being supported by the seats, not so much the kids being like pushing up on it, and that's what's keeping the T-Rex's mouth from just crushing them to death, it would break. It would break under the force of the T-Rex pushing down on it. And then if it wasn't the seats that were helping him, the kids are just pushing up at the same force that its mouth is going down. Still doesn't make sense. It would just crush the kids to death.
So again, you're trying to bring physics into this.
Yeah,
No.
again, physics don't work here.
You can't be
Yeah.
doing that.
I think the bigger thing is head is not fitting into the window, so it's not putting its full weight or pressure on there. But yeah, I don't understand why these kids keep pushing up at it. Just like pull back, hide under those seats, get as small as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're trying to do with this.
Yeah.
Again, they're freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, we'll find out shortly when Lex gets scared. She just puts her hands out in front of her.
It's true.
Yes,
That is
she
her
does.
reaction.
You know what?
Crazy hands, Lex.
I probably do something stupid like that too. I've never faced that level of terror. I don't know.
That's fair.
True.
All right. So now Grant's like, time to be a hero. Comes out. He's got the flare. He's like, yo, look at the red dot. T-Rex is like, I'm going to get that red dot.
Yeah.
That red dot's dead.
Here, I'm gonna throw it. Go back down into your
Cat's
you weird.
Honestly, that would have killed the T-Rex right there.
It would have,
Just gone
yeah.
off the edge.
Well,
Well, maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
unless it floated, you know.
Yeah, they can fly.
Float.
Jeff Goldblum's like, I will fuck this up.
Yeah.
I'm the bigger hero.
I'm going to have it chase me. Checkmate.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you almost got rid of it, but I'm going to screw everything up, get myself horribly injured like a hero, and get the lawyer killed.
Yeah. T-Rex, he tells the kids, he's like, I'll be right back.
Hold on.
Or at this point, I think he's flipped the car over. He's done a number on the car. He's ate the tires. He's it's up on cinder blocks now. He jacked the tires and the rims and stole the stereo and all that.
But now he's smashing his way through the porta potty.
Yeah, he kicks Ian Malcolm through the porta potty. And then Gennaro's just on the dumper. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so if there's one way you gotta go, taking a dump and getting eaten by a T-Rex, I'm cool with that.
Although also, now that I think about it, this tour, if you're riding in a car on a track that they want to have it locked, why is there a toilet across from the T-Rex? A single toilet, I might add.
I would think it might be one of those things where it's like you would get out of the cars there and hang out there for a while.
Yeah, that's my guess.
But
Yeah.
that seems like a one track kind of tour. So
Yeah.
I mean, the other cars come along and you get in those.
Like my guess would be, so there'd probably be several different. This is probably like walking tours where you could just walk the park, but on the safety guided area. And then the car comes through and you're like, oh, I'm walking like a sucker. I could be riding in one of those things with an interactive
Richard Kiley.
CD-ROM. Yeah. With Richard Kiley telling me what's what about these dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Fair enough.
So that's just my guess, but it, maybe wasn't all set up yet.
Well, I mean, the T-Rex felt the same way. He's like, "Where's a restroom here?"
Maybe the toilet was for the Tyrannosaurus. I don't know.
So, I mean, you got a T-Rex in your movie. It's got to just fucking savage somebody to death. And it sure does to Gennaro.
Dude, at PG-13's that dude to death.
Bites him
No,
right in half.
no blood, but
Yeah.
he's a goner.
Bites him right in off screen.
Spielberg went to the censors. He's like, what can it do to this guy? And then they did all of that.
Yeah, again, beautiful work with you get the power, the savageness of this thing attacking him. You get that this guy is all kinds of dead, but we don't actually ever see it. So that works for him. So there's a lot of movies where, the point is violence, but because of shitty editing or something, it just looks dumb. And you're like, what happened just now? So points to
And
them.
Spielberg's like, well, later I'm going to show a severed arm. Is that cool? And they're like, that's rated R. And he's like, but it's a black dude? Oh, PG-13.
PG-13.
Peachy.
Yeah. All right.
We'll just put it on PBS.
Oh, it's a documentary.
So he's like, oh, wait, there were kids I was trying to kill. And he comes back to that. Meanwhile, Grant's he's got Lex out of the truck, but he's trying to get Tim out. Tim's stuck for some reason. And, this is when the whole thing where it's like, if you don't move, the T-Rex can't get you. Sort of like, kind of like a weeping angel sort of rule here. Just,
Sure.
yeah.
It's exactly the same.
They do a little do-si-do around the truck. And then finally the T-Rex is like, fuck this. Let's going over the edge. I don't care. And
I created an edge just for it to go off.
yeah,
So, Tim goes over the side.
lands in a tree.
Yeah, Grant goes down after him.
They're rappelling down, and of course you gotta dodge a truck when you're rappelling.
Right.
This part's fine. I liked it. Nice, suspenseful.
I think it's fine. I know.
Gotta run sideways. Lex gotta grab the line. She's putting Grant in a sleeper hold. Suspense. Nice.
Yeah.
Next part, though, where he's got to get Tim out of the tree. Unfucking necessary. Like, I don't mind the climb up to get Tim. I don't mind the little sappy moment in the truck. Moment that truck starts coming down when you start climbing. Why you climb down that side of the tree in the first place?
That's exactly what Tony
I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, like, climb to the side. Like,
Yep. That's what I was saying.
Just climb
Just
to
go to the
Yeah,
side. Just go to the side.
I totally agree.
yeah.
But to play devil's advocate, you are with a traumatized child.
Mm.
He just vomited.
He did throw up, so he's feeling pretty bad about
Yeah.
himself. You gotta kind of go at this kid's pace, you know. Like you can't be like, "Hey, you gotta move to the right." 'Cause he's may not grasp it. You could grab the kid and just throw him.
You could have yelled it first and then been like, "Oh shit, he's still climbing."
Yeah,
down.
if he
So,
was saying like run to the side and Tim just kept running down and he was chasing after him, I'd buy that more. But it's just him going like, move, go, we gotta go fast. Like, no, you gotta go to the side. Just let the car go and then walk away fine.
Remember, there are weird video game physics in this movie,
Yeah.
apparently. So
Well,
maybe
I mean-
there was an invisible wall there.
This is better than if it was 1997. The truck would be coming down after Tim, and he would have done the uneven bar routine on the tree branches and drop kicked the truck out of the way.
Yeah, let's just be thankful that it was kind of we need to get away from this car and not like we are going to overcome this car.
And even as a 12-year-old, the part where they reach the ground and then the truck falls over them, I'm like, really? Why do we do that? I guess some people like that, but
It's fine. You can pretty much like when it's happening, you can see the QuickTime event prompts going.
Yeah.
But
you know what though?
But-
Dick's still hard from that T-Rex.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So you don't care. They earned it.
Yeah. No, you don't care. Yeah,
All
you're.
right.
Well,
Well, Tony cares because he's
a
got.
little bit. Well, no, but it is a little stupid or whatever, but like it does add a little bit of levity for people because
You've seen too many movies. You've got cool movie ED.
I don't know what that has to do with this, but the point is, you get the little moment of Tim going like, "Well, we're back in the car," and so people kind of, the audience kind of relax a little. They have a laugh moment. Personally, I would have found it funnier if he got covered in his own vomit, but regardless.
I think this is more about you than the movie.
So-
But all right.
Stadler and Muldoon are on the scene. They're like, Hammond sent them to go get his grandchildren. No one's there. They're like, fuck, Goldblum survived. Get him in the truck. And then the T-Rex is like, oh, more people are over here.
He's like, I unbutton my shirt.
Yeah.
It's going to attract the dinosaurs.
And everything else in a 12-mile radius.
T-Rex
All the females.
sees that chest hair and is just like, "Brrr."
Yeah, all the dinosaurs in the park are female. And we're about to find out what happens.
Admittedly, what's a pretty cool scene. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Beatles style, they got to get away from the mob of fans after Jeff Goldblum's
Sure.
chest hair. Just the mob is coalesced into one giant fucking
Yeah,
dinosaur.
it's a little Scooby-Doo-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, about the same same idea.
No, but you're like, oh shit, this thing can run fast.
yeah.
But Muldoon's like, yo, you're a reptile. There's no way you're sustaining that.
Yeah,
Especially when you like go balls first into a tree.
Yeah.
Which I guess vagina first, but still,
Yeah.
it remains the same.
and you get that cool and somewhat iconic moment with the, objects in the mirror maybe close to
Sure,
up
yeah.
here, and
Must go faster. Must go faster.
and that.
Mm-hmm. And the other part where Spielberg uses his swear card, where Ellie, if you listen, she's just yelling shit over and over again.
Fairness, I mean, it's not subtitled, but that's like also what the T-Rex is yelling.
Yeah.
I think he lets out a fuck you when he finally
probably
gives up.
it's a whole "I'm gonna get you, sucker" situation.
All right. So now we run into the Nedry.
The Nedry.
Nedry's misadventures. He's already crashed his Jeep once. Now he's just drives it off the road. And he's I guess he's getting a winch to winch it to something.
To a tree.
But like something down waterfall. He's
sure.
gonna
Yeah,
pull it down there. I don't know.
Yeah, well, he went off one road. I'm not entirely sure where he was going, if he even knew. He went down off of one road and got caught halfway down this waterfall thing. But he saw at like the bottom of it, there is a road leading to where he wanted to go. So he's trying to pull it down the rest of the way.
which is funny because you'd think just the weight of his body in the front of the car would cause enough forward momentum.
It's like a
to-
Jeep Wrangler. You think it could
Yeah.
get some 4-wheel drive going.
He probably also could have just gone to the back of it and given it a good shove, and it would have had the same effect.
I
but-
need to winch it. Gotta use this winch.
So yeah, he runs into which one's this? This
The
is
Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus. All right.
Playful little guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny-esque, if you would.
He's like, I got a stick. Here's a stick. He
Yeah.
doesn't care about a stick.
Yeah, Dilophosaurus is like, yeah, here's some poison. How about right in your face? How about that?
Which-
Mm-hmm.
and he
Afraid
is,
you.
he is such an asshole. Yeah, just like
Dilophosaurus or Nedry?
both. But he's like, do you go get the stick? You're like, what's wrong with you? No wonder you're extinct. Like, you idiot. Like, it's not.
It's deciding if you're food or not. Right?
Yeah. And he was also, making comments like, I don't have any food for you. Like, dude, you are the food for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're looking awfully good.
Also, you have food for it. Like, just rummage through your pockets. More.
Well,
you got something. You could offer it.
Like we said, you've got.
you know what?
You got candy.
You
pockets.
hold on to that stick
Yeah.
as a weapon and make your ass back to that car as fast as possible. Because
So,
You've got at least a Snickers on you right now.
so
that's his emergency Snickers.
that's true.
Well,
Yeah.
he's got at least his emergency backup emergency Snickers.
Auxiliary Snickers.
Yeah.
So, this thing's like puppeteers deploy my neck frills.
And they do.
You do see the strings pull his
Well,
neck
here's
open,
the thing. They say you can see the string, but every time I watch it, all I can see is the line from the Jeep to the tree, which I think people are mistaking
Possibly.
for the strings.
It could also be what they used to disguise the string.
Maybe.
Either way.
But I feel like, because I think those were like maybe inflated more than.
Yeah, honestly, I thought there would be some kind of springy thing on the other side of those frills that would just unfurl.
Yeah, I don't think they were pulled out by strings,
Yeah.
because the way they like shake them, they don't really.
Well, either way, this thing looks awesome.
Oh yeah, it's cool looking.
Yeah.
If that's your worst problem, then we're doing fine. Because you know what? One Lucas S special edition with a little touch up to cover that string, and you're done.
Yeah, but it would also be like Bubba Fett as the Dilophosaurus. or
Well,
something.
yeah, I'm sure they would do other stupid stuff, but
All right. So,
Jake Lloyd as Tim.
needless to say, this thing just works some venom right in Grant's face.
yeah.
Freaks out, hits his head on his car, gets in the
Wait,
car.
Grant's face?
Or not
Nedry.
Grant.
You're doing the Gennaro
Yeah.
Dodgson thing now.
Mhm.
We're all a little loopy, I think.
So then, Nedry gets in the car, bangs his head, farts. Dilophosaurus does like a fucking Mike Myers, like I was in the car all along somehow.
Somehow.
Yeah, again, physics, like, it's a tiny Jeep.
Yeah.
There's, goes without saying, there's barely enough room for Dennis Nedry in this thing.
Well, yeah, the idea that this dinosaur got past him into the car, turned itself around, and like tucked away in the passenger seat so he could get in without noticing,
And expanded its neck
and then
frill, like-
expanded the neck frill.
Yeah, again, this one, it's still a cool scene, but I could have used it just smashing through the roof. Like,
Right.
it's basically a canvas roof.
Oh yeah. Again, cool enough where, as far as like in the movie or not, I don't care. But when you think about it, it's just like, how did that work? It shouldn't have.
All right, so now, what you call it? We get Tim just whining and bitching about being in a tree, and then poor Grant has to sleep in a tree with 2 kids, and he's happy, but he's not happy.
No, definitely not.
Now they're in the Bronto paddock
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah.
Whatever.
So Hammond is like talking to Sadler, and he's like, "Next time we're gonna do this better. We're gonna make this right."
And she's like, "You idiot!"
Yeah, he's like, "People are dying out there."
Yeah, he's really not understanding, like,
The seriousness.
the point.
of it
Yeah, the
all.
seriousness, the
Yeah.
point. It's like, you can't just, Malcolm was right. You can't.
Yeah,
you can't just have like all these wild animals hanging around and expect to not have problems because it's not like modern animals where you can study them for years and years and understand their habitat and whatever.
You can't just immediately start into the amusement park. Like, you gotta figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to behave, and then you can think about it years later. Mm-hmm. But before he knew what he had, he slapped a label on it.
Yep.
Or again, at the very least, you want to do that. I don't know. I don't know what would be the best dinosaur. Maybe the Gallimimus. Get a couple of those.
Yeah,
like have a little park somewhere.
Some compies, maybe.
Yeah, build from
not
there.
too many.
Late compies.
I mean, you could raise funds by having that tour around some zoos.
Yeah.
Just have a traveling display of a dinosaur. Like, oh, look, it's a
Triceratops.
goddamn design dinosaur.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, so Sattler's like, shut your bitch ass up. Give me the ice cream.
Right. Yeah,
Next scene.
Correct.
Yeah.
So is this where they're trying to figure out, well, how do we handle this? Do we just shut everything down or restart?
Well, before that, they that's when the Brachiosaurus shows up.
Okay,
sneezes on Lex, and then
Gives her the dino AIDS.
gives her the dino AIDS.
Which I feel is the worst CGI in the film.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, when the brontosaurus sneezes.
Just suddenly turns into a cartoon.
Yeah.
Especially totally different
The puppet
color.
was so good that they were interacting it with.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest contrast between the two.
I want to see like just Sam Neill like having a tug of war with the guy who's inside the Brachiosaurus' mouth over the stick.
It was Brian Dennehy.
So then he finds the eggs and he's like, oh, that bullshit I was sensing before. Here it is.
Yep.
Because they bred them with frogs, and some frogs can change gender.
Yep.
Or can change sex.
Yeah.
When there's no males around. Like,
You son of a bitch.
you're like, Dr. Grant, that's some straight up blue girl shit there. Like,
I can turn my poopy into pee-pee.
yeah. Like, I like how it's just because we use genes from that animal. It gets all that animal's powers.
Why not? Like,
Yeah. It's not like in real life where it just falls apart into useless protoplasm. Like,
I taped a beak on it, and now it can fly.
yeah. So anyway, you're like, all right, you know what? Whatever. That's fine. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Now we get the debate about shutting down the system. Basically, it's like, look, if you shut everything off for no reason, we'll have to go to the breakers, which are way at the other end.
Why though? Why? Okay, so this is your main compound. This is where all your power is.
Mm-hmm.
Why would your breakers be 3 miles down the road?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?
If I go in my store and shut the main off, you know where the breakers are?
In
Right
your
on the other
store,
side of the
yes.
room.
Right? Yeah. Like right there at the end of the end of the circuit, you would.
It's like
think.
2 cabinets over.
Right.
Well, I can understand, like, because this is the control room. This is just like the computer area, whatever.
Where they control everything.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not the power station. So if you had a separate room or something for the power, I get that. But again, like, we're talking either a separate area in the same building or a building like 2 feet away.
Or the basement of the
building.
building.
Right.
It should not be on the other side of the compound. Like, oh, we just conveniently have to run past the raptor pen.
Right.
2 other things I got a bitch about.
Yeah.
So,
There we
one, you have no fail safes for if power ever goes out.
Right.
Like, there's no secondary defense system. He says there's moats. We do see moats, but somehow the T-Rex can get around them.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just like boy.
Did not care.
So, you know what? In fairness, they were like, I don't know how he did that. Like, we didn't know you could do that. But
We don't know anything about these
I want to see video afterwards of the T-Rex walking up to that moat and then it just hits one of those like sonic springs.
yeah.
Or like it's like trying to figure out how much of his foot to put in there, and then he's like, oh, it's like an inch deep.
It's like the Indiana Jones leap of faith.
Yeah.
But then the other thing, though, is like, I know it's 1992 or whatever, but your computer loses all changes you've made to it when you cut power.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if power goes out by accident? If there's an accident at the power plant, like, every customization you've made to this system is just fucking toast.
Yeah. You know.
I mean, maybe that's back when viruses weren't sophisticated enough to handle turn the computer off. But, like, you know, that shouldn't work like that.
Yeah, I suppose being an older system, I'm not certain how that works or anything, but it's not, I don't know if it's deleting every change they made, just recent changes they made.
Maybe it's like a system
So
restore.
maybe,
Yeah, it is like factory defaults. Or something.
Yeah.
but
Like, imagine how annoying that would be if, like, there's things that bugs you've worked out of the system and everything, and all these kinks, and they're all just gone. Yeah,
It's a Unix system.
it is a Unix system.
also, by the way,
It's more like a Unix system.
Yeah, exactly.
here's a thought.
Right off.
Backup power on the Raptor pen and maybe
Yeah.
the T-Rex pen.
A diesel generator somewhere
Yeah.
you could fire
Just-
up.
All your horrible, dangerous.
You know that shit they have in like every hospital? Like just that.
Probably every zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so certain animals just don't escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like if you're on an island that might, I don't know, get hit by a hurricane, shut off the power for a little bit, they don't just start busting out and eating people.
You know what? A top to the raptor cage.
That might not be a bad idea
Yeah.
either.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so I'll just throw a tarp over it. It'll buy you some time.
I know,
So
right? It's like, oh, it's dark. I don't know what's going on.
they'll at least have to learn what that is.
Maybe they'll just fall asleep like parrots.
Yeah, they have that much bird DNA.
I'm like, oh, I'm going
That's
to
the
bed.
solution. You just throw it
Yeah,
over.
Bad news is they figured out they can change their sex because of the frog DNA. Good news is just throw a blanket over them and go to sleep because of bird DNA.
Or they'll like be like, oh,
Good.
What do we do now? It's totally dark. Huh. Well, half of you turn into boys. We'll just start an orgy.
Either way, we've told again to hold on to your butts because the system restarts. Mm-hmm. And now the computer like restarts, but like you have to throw other breakers before the computer can control anything.
Well,
I guess.
In restarting this, somehow they tripped the breakers. This is not a thing that's
Yeah.
supposed to happen. It just did. I'm not sure how or why this would work this way, but whatever.
So Samuel L. Jackson's like, no one died in a while. I'm going to go take care of it.
Well, see, the problem was they have all the systems plugged into one power strip.
Well, there's your problem.
So it trips.
No, it's one power strip daisy chained into a second power strip.
Well, yeah.
Even
Yeah,
better.
turns out this entire building has just got one extension cord that goes to the gas station across the street.
At the end of the second power strip, there's one of those like turn one outlet into 6 outlet things plugged into
Half
it.
of it's like a string of Christmas lights. So it's just a
Someone's
mess.
running the microwave and the toaster oven at the same time.
Don't do that. I can't do that here.
Yeah. So now, what's going on here? This is the scene with the field, right? Yeah, where they're walking in the field, and you see all the Gallimimus,
Yep.
and they're running, and Dr. Grant's like, "That's amazing! Look how they travel." Blah, blah, blah.
It's
And
like birds.
Tim's like, "They're herding right towards us."
They're flocking this way.
It's like video game quick time event, go. And you can tell there's a level somewhere where you're looking at them running towards you, and you have to move them to the sides to dodge.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this also bugged me a little. Again, not so much the first viewing, but watching this again. The Gallimimus are chasing after them because they're supposedly running from something. So they jump over this log, and the Gallimimus just kind of start jumping over them. Then they go around the back of it, seemingly for no reason, and that happens to be cover for the T-Rex who just pops out in front of them. And like, what amazing timing of
The
that.
T-Rex is like, I ran into this Dilophosaurus. He showed me how to do the bad guy teleport. So I didn't eat him. And now I just show up whenever the fuck I want.
But I'll give it to the T-Rex. Like, somehow he got ahead of them. He's learning from Jason. That's fine. But like the fact that they just knew to go behind this log for no reason and it happened to work out for them. It's like,
Well, T-Rex was too busy, marveling with his badass ground pound attack that knocks one of them totally asunder. And like the first one he's going for is like, I'm running away. And then his friend's like, oh shit, I fell down. And he's like, it's your ass. I'm eating you.
done.
And T-Rex is just kicking everything's ass in this movie.
Well, I mean, rightly so.
Yeah. And I like just the
Motherfucking
character
T-Rex.
of the T-Rex. It's not good. It's not evil. It's just kicking everything's ass.
It's a Tyrannosaurus. It's
Yeah.
just pure. It's an
Yeah,
animal.
it's just
Yeah.
an animal.
It's a motherfucking T-Rex.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't care what it is. I'm fighting it.
Right.
It's like I've not had anything to eat since that lawyer last night. Time for a little breakfast.
Well, I mean, at the same time, like very much like what they said in Jurassic World, the T-Rex has been bred in captivity, has no idea like what
Mhm.
you know what all these other things are. Most likely, it's figuring out
Yeah.
where it fits. And it's like, I'm just gonna kill everything because
Mhm.
I can't. I'm gonna see what I can. I'm gonna see where the line is.
Well, more importantly, like Grant says earlier in the movie, is Lex is bitching about the carnivores versus herbivores. He's like, carnivores are just doing what they do. They they eat stuff. That's the
it,
food
man.
chain.
All right. So now Muldoon and Sadler's like, look, this did not go right. He didn't turn the breakers back on. I gotta go. Muldoon's like, all right, I'll go with you. I'm gonna get this shotgun. I'm gonna get not even the 5 shotgun shells that probably fit in it.
I need.
Yeah.
All I need is 2.
Not gonna get you a gun.
Did he even put 2 in, or did he just put 1?
I think we only
That was
see
not
one,
many.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems to put some kind of. I think there was like a clip in it he put in the bottom there.
No,
I don't know if it was spare shots or what was going on.
I don't know. He just he stuffs a few in the chamber, but not like it looked like he just didn't know what he was doing with that.
Mhm.
But either way, they're going out. Sadler has a walkie-talkie, he has a shotgun, and they go to the raptor pen, and sure enough, the raptors have escaped.
Which I will say this: I'm kind of glad he didn't give her a gun because there's nothing to suggest she would know how to do anything with that. So rather than just have her be a superhero in the middle of this for no reason, they're just like, nope, she's just there.
Yeah,
He's got the gun.
in fairness,
Paleobotanist sharpshooter, right?
Yeah.
in fairness too, like you got to know what you're doing to use a shotgun, and like they're not going to take practice shots and just tell the whole island like, oh yeah, we're over here.
Yeah. Like a certain other movie I saw recently where a scientist suddenly just has a gun and starts doing parkour for no reason.
Mhm.
It's like, wait, why?
Was it a Taurus judge?
It was not. It was some futurized weapon.
Mm.
Is it
No,
Psylocke?
It was in Predator.
Yeah.
The
So
Oh, yes, sorry.
all right. So
I
basically,
forgot she was solid.
he from the moment. I mean, again, these are the segment of the show where we go with complaints that only Joe has. But from the moment he walks out of the compound, this shotgun has a folding stock. Like, why are you not deploying that the moment you pick the damn thing up? Like, so when he fires that with its pistol grip, it's just going to go all wild all over the place. And he's
I have that
wasted a
problem
bunch.
sometimes,
Yeah,
too.
exactly. You got to fold your stock down. Make sure it's nice and rigid and locked in place. Get better control. Oh. So I don't know.
You gotta cup
Yeah.
him.
So he either way, like they go, he tells Sadler, he's like, look, you're not gonna do anything to help right now. Just fucking run for the paddock. What's that?
This is where I have a problem.
Mhm.
Because he's like, we're being stalked. The raptors are here. There's one straight ahead. Now, she was there. I don't know if she learned this on her own,
Yeah.
but she was there earlier in the movie when Grant says, it's not the one in front you see. It's the two
Yeah.
from the sides that get you. And she does not tell him that. She just takes off.
He told her to run. Because he was like, hopefully they eat her, and then I'm good. And she was like, this guy, I want to get away from him.
Yes.
He's going to go get killed by some raptors.
And when Grant was talking, she wasn't. She was more like, "Oh, I hope he punches his kid."
Yeah.
Wow, Joe, you all right?
I'm good.
Chair, however, not so much.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
I've given up on the chairs already.
So now we get probably the most bullshit scene in the movie. This is where they run into the electric fence.
The vents,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this is just goddamn unnecessary.
It's
Don't
ridiculous.
piss on the
Absolutely
electric
ridiculous. I'm
fence.
so mad. I hate this scene so much.
The scene does nothing for the film
Nope.
except take you out of what's going on. So they climb up the fence. Suddenly, Sattler's like, I'm going to turn on everything.
Well, all right, beyond that, they could just fit through the fence.
Maybe not Grant, but that kid can fit through the
Both
fence.
of those kids.
First
fit
thing,
easily.
Grant pulls the dick move of pretending like it shocks him.
Yeah.
After these kids have just been
And
emotionally
screams really
scarred.
loud in a park full of dinosaurs.
Yeah, there is that.
These kids are traumatized.
They got like shit and vomit all over them, and they're like, not cool,
you
man.
see he's starting to play around the kids. He's starting to come around the kids. All right, then they climb over the fence. Next scene. But no, we got to waste time on dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes it over. Lex makes it over. Sure enough, the fence is activating. Tim's like, I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to climb down. I'm going to stay.
Well, then good. You die.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
rule, man.
Yeah, that's your option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he does finally decide he will jump, but he's a little too late.
Just
And just gets thrown off.
what I'm sure is a Fussro Dog gif somewhere. This kid
If not, it should be.
just gets launched off the fence. And and he just slams on the ground. He's dead. He would be just dead.
He'd be so dead.
Even if the 10,000 volts, if the amps were low enough that it didn't really kill you, like
Explode his heart immediately.
yeah, the fall even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would kill a grown man. This little boy would be toast.
So, and then is he alive? Oh, of course he's fucking alive.
And he could have fit through the fence to begin with.
Just
I hate it.
oh my god, like why? What did this add? Who honestly?
Spielberg.
Yeah, I mean, who honestly gave a shit about this kid? And I mean, my ass did.
Yeah.
But like, what suspense did this add? All it did was make you go like, that's not how that would have happened.
Yeah.
Spielberg.
But it was at this point where I was like, it was bothering me for a while, but I'm like, who does he remind me of? And it hit me that Tim looks like the younger kid from The Burbs.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone remembers that. And I brought up a photo to show.
Brought up the darkest photo
Oh.
ever imaginable.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Wow. Okay. That's like I remember that dude.
Yeah.
I didn't remember. You said youngest kid.
That's what he grows up to be after being exposed to the fence.
Yeah, that's. I was like, he
All
looks
the
so
trauma.
familiar. I can't put my finger on it. And then it was like, oh, The Burbs.
All right. So now,
But anyway.
all right, Sattler's like, okay, everything's powered up. It's cool. And then the Raptor's just like, yeah, I don't know why I haven't eaten you yet. I'm just going to attack now.
Well, first he's like, "Here's this arm."
Well, no, that's
No, that
after
comes next.
She runs like 10 feet to the next room, and it's like, oh, Mr. Arnold, everything's fine now.
Wait, couple things here. First of all, like the fucking Frighteners, this raptor's just in the wall. I don't know how.
It's in the wire. It's in the wires.
Yeah.
Just trying to put up Christmas lights. It got all
Second of
tangled
all,
up.
the raptor jumps. It seems to latch itself onto this gate door,
Yeah.
which she could just push closed.
Yep.
I ain't buying that shit.
Well, maybe the entirety of him was hanging off the door. She just pushes it. I don't know.
But yeah, and then she backs into like this conveniently placed arm piece that just taps her on the shoulder. She's like, "Oh, nice to have you here." Like, and this is so the equivalent of the just someone's kissing me. It must be a beautiful woman. I'm not going to open my eyes. Oh, it's a monkey.
You'll know she immediately turns around and sees it's not attached.
Well,
to
yeah,
anything.
it's quicker, but it's just like oh, there's an arm on
Mr.
me.
Arnold.
It must be Mr. Arnold. Yeah. Not getting into the fact that like where that arm is, he would have to be part of this wall that's behind her. It's just, yeah.
Well, I mean, the raptor was.
We get that thing where it's like, you're faster than me. You have ample space to catch me. I have to run up a flight of stairs that you can jump up, but somehow I beat you out of this thing with enough time to close the door.
While dragging a flashlight by my leg.
And I'm limping for some reason now.
It got its teeth caught on that.
Yeah.
On the
Maybe it just found Mr. Arnold's arm and it's like, oh, I just need this.
Yeah, I'm cool with
Like,
it.
oh, this is nice.
Either way, that one's contained. So now there's only two that have to be dealt with. But speaking of those two, now we see Muldoon. He's got one in a staring contest. He's like, let me assemble the stock. Now.
We quietly do this
Yep.
for a half hour. You just chill, right?
And, and he's looking at it. It's a nice little suspenseful moment. What's he going to do? And then you see the other one just pop up in the bushes. He's like, gotcha, bitch. Clever girl. And Muldoon,
He just gets his face ate.
he exits the film. He gets a puppet dropped on top of him and he flails about. All right. So now this is the part where Tim wakes up. You're like, who gives a damn? Move on. We're in the kitchen. I just wrote for my notes, the kitchen scene. Fuck. So like these kids they're eating the desserts, they're eating all the food at the cafeteria, having a great old time. And then, Lex sees one of the raptor shadows and she's jiggling her jello, something fierce. And they run to the kitchen and shenanigans ensue.
Freaking Gordon Ramsay shows up at the door.
there's basically the same. Yeah.
This sea bass is raw.
Whenever he looks in the kitchen, there's that jet of air that just shoots out his nostrils and fogs
You're
up
gonna
the window.
kill somebody. It's rotten.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
So yeah, Sadler and Grant reunite at this point, and Sadler's like, everything should be okay. The raptors should be contained as long as they don't know how to open doors.
Yeah. So the kids get one of the raptors trapped in the freezer, in the walk-in freezer of the kitchen, and the other raptors just give them the stink eye when they run out.
Well, that raptor. The one cool thing about this scene is what Lex did to that one raptor that gives him the stink eye, where she like went over to the cabinet and was pretending like she couldn't get it closed. And I remember the first time I saw this, I'm like, fucking Lex, just close the damn door.
Yeah.
What the hell? And this thing just comes at her full speed, like, I'm going to get you. And it's the reflection in the oven, and it just eats shit right into the side of the oven door.
That's how you be clever with a raptor without doing gymnastics.
Yes.
That's true, but I'm not sure that was a plan. I think she just couldn't get that closed.
Yeah.
And thankfully it went after the reflection.
Either or, it worked.
Yeah.
However, the part where like Tim tricks the raptor into the freezer, gets this like slide, and then I'll buy all that. But then when he's got his arm on the freezer, the raptor would just be like, fuck you, and just slam the door open. And then little like not even 100-pound Lex running at it with her arms straight out, screaming.
Arms.
Well, also,
I mean, she came in like a firecracker.
He deployed crazy arms.
But before that, when he gets this raptor in there, that door's not that big. Like, you're getting the raptor trapped in there, but Tim is in there with it. It's dead.
Yeah.
He would have. That thing would have just ripped him apart as it ran past. That's all.
And like she hits this door like a wrecking ball, and suddenly the raptor's just like, fuck it, fine, I'm in the freezer. There's meat in here.
Yeah. So the kids run out. They meet up with Grant and Sattler, and they all head up to the control room.
Mm-hmm.
Shenanigans ensue.
More shenanigans.
Yep. All right. Control room scene. So the raptor's like, well, first off, you can't lock the door without a fucking computer.
Right. Because,
Sure.
It's safety.
It's like Five Nights at Freddy where you can only have the door closed a certain amount of time.
That's just the dumbest idea ever.
All right. So then, like, this thing's trying to push the door open. Grant's throwing his shoulder into it. So Dr. Sadler is pushing on the wrong part of the door to have any leverage. And he's like, go get the shotgun. And she's like, I can't. You can't keep it closed. It's like, you're not doing anything right now.
A, you weigh like 125 pounds max. B, you're on the wrong side of the door. C, what the hell is Tim doing right now? He's
dancing with his hands on his
He is standing there watching.
Oh, it's that nerve damage from the electricity.
Kick the friggin' gun, Tim, you piece of crap.
Yeah, he
You
is
useless pile of
at one point, he is
human
just
waste.
like his hands are on the side of his head. He's just freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, grab the gun, hand it to Sadler
I could
or
understand
Grant
if
or
Steven
whoever.
Spielberg is like, no, I don't want a kid holding a gun in my movie. Just kick it towards one of the adults.
Yeah.
Just push it so they can reach it. Use a broomstick. I don't care. Like,
Prop him against the door. Then
just
you can
don't
take it
have
away.
Lex hacking the computer and Grant pushing the door and Ellie pretending she's helping and you just standing there like an asshole.
Have the kid put something against the door, like he went and got some things.
Like
something.
Tim.
Something
I don't know.
helpful.
Just
Yeah.
prop Tim up against the door.
Yeah, there you go.
Wedge his head up under the handle and just stick his feet on the ground. And
All right.
This is another one where,
see how
like,
far it goes.
the way it's looking in the window compared to where its hands are doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and just there's just a lot of problems here.
And then so Lex does what the 90s thought computer hacking looked like.
Yeah,
where,
you move a mouse around.
Yeah, that neuromancer style, like you have to have a visual representation of the hack.
Right.
So she finds the thing that will engage the doors. And now the door, I guess its hinges are electrically powered too, because it's just like pushes the closed automatically and locks.
Yeah.
I was like, though, in true 90s style, it still takes forever. Like, she clicks on a thing, and then 5 minutes later, it slowly, like, pans over to it. Then she's going to click on into that.
It's a Unix system.
All right. So
Interactive CD.
basically, they're locked out. Grant gets the phone, calls John Hammond. It's just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Call the damn helicopter. And then see the raptor's like, yo, there's a window like right here.
And Grant's like, wait, this is too peaceful. I'm gonna shoot the window.
Yeah. So
let this raptor in here.
that, like, even if it's not reinforced, that amount of glass is gonna stop the raptor for a while. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like it's the T-Rex. Like, it's gonna bounce off that a few times.
Right. And probably once it does, it realizes that there's a solid object there. It's going to be like
not empty
It's
space.
not, yeah, maybe because Raptor doesn't know that it can break glass.
Yeah. And so you get what somebody who's never used a shotgun before. You get what happens with that. So he just empties the barrel and like nothing happens.
Yeah, he just Dick Cheney's this friggin' window.
He somehow jammed the shotgun shell in it too for some reason. Like, so they're like, fuck it. So now the raptor's like, thanks for weakening that window.
Yeah.
I'm coming through. And they climb up into the ceiling. This is that part Tony was talking about where it jumps up and it's like trying to grab at Lex, and you see like suddenly like 20 feet in the air.
Yeah. Its head's
head's
just bobbing
hanging
through
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's on top of it until it smashes back through.
The puppeteers grabbed it and lifted it up to the window, and then when they had to be on camera, they just ran and dropped it.
I also like, before that happens, when they first climb into this thing, they knock the ladder over like it was going to use that. If they didn't do that,
I don't know.
With this raptor, maybe.
Yeah, Grant's
Well, Dr.
last
Grant's
act.
like, these things, somehow they get up elevation. Like,
Yeah.
the T-Rex did it, these guys can do it.
So they ultimately escape to the main rotunda,
The scaffolding.
with the scaffolding and all the
Boom.
skeletons.
I
and stuff.
didn't want to start a new page for notes, so I put, the end of this movie.
Yeah. So they escape down there, and they're all like, the people and the raptors are now like hanging off of the dinosaur
There's
skeletons.
A good 10 to 15 seconds where you could be playing yakety sax, and it would be appropriate.
They're kind of like,
They're all spinning around.
Yeah.
The raptor's
Water.
spinning around.
half of them are upside down. It's like,
The cleat on the ceiling is like, what the fuck are you doing? It just gives up. They all fall.
Tim is almost crushed for
Yep.
the 5th time.
yes.
At this point, Tim needs it. He's jonesing for it.
Yeah, I need to be crushed.
Kill me. Just kill me. Kill me. I'm right here. Do it.
And then the other raptor is just like tarp and like pokes his head through that. And so now they're sandwiched between two raptors.
Yep.
How the hell are they going to get out of this?
Deus Ex Tyrannosaurus.
Deus Rex
Yeah,
Machina.
thank you.
To steal the joke from the Nostalgia Critic, but
Oh dear, don't do that.
yeah,
But
You don't
once-
want anything
yeah,
he's
true.
got.
Yeah,
Once again, he's got like obfuscation on because like no
Yeah.
one sees or hears him until he makes his attack. Like, how?
Well,
Just how?
he was walking by and maybe the door was open and he's just like,
The Tyrannosaurus.
I'm going to hold my mouth. Well, that was a big ass door in fairness, but he's like, I'm going to hold my mouth open and walk forward. If you get bitten, it's your own fault.
He had a box over him.
Yeah.
See him on his tiptoes.
Yeah. He's like, did they really not see me? They really don't see me? All right.
Okay.
Keep
All
going.
right, I guess I'm doing this.
But you know what? Who gives a damn? Because when that thing shows up and snatches that raptor, like you were like you were flaccid because you were nervous because you're like, how are they going to get out of this? When that thing pops up, it's just like, whoa!
Yeah, like my heart was pounding,
Yeah.
and then suddenly my heart doesn't have any blood in it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You're like, oh my god, it's the T-Rex.
I was like, how?
Like, what else would it be? But Spielberg is the master at that, where he's like, as preposterous as this is, or predictable as it is, it's what you want, and
Yeah,
I'm giving it to you right here.
Right. And you're like, how could I possibly?
Originally, the bones were supposed to just fall and take the raptors out,
Yep.
but they were like, that's just too silly and doesn't make any damn sense.
Mm.
We need a better ending for this. So he was like, fuck a T-Rex.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
That other raptor's like, yo, that was my brother, yo.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on you, I guess.
It was like the little dog fighting the big dog, and then when he got up there, he was like, made a terrible mistake here.
I miscalculated.
Somebody's going up. It's like a little
Totally misjudged the situation.
little kids going up to like punch Sylvester Stallone. He's just, what is it like? Wasn't it in The Simpsons? Like one of the little kids had to fight. Was it McBain or something? They were just like crying. Just went to throw the first punch. They were just crying. No, okay, all right.
I know.
I'm thinking the end of Step Brothers when they come back on the helicopter and just beat the shit out of the 10-year-olds that bullied them earlier.
There's that too.
It's got that one kid on like the springy thing, and he's just punching them down.
Well, I think the raptor's like, I know there's a spot somewhere in like the base of your neck where if I get there, you can't reach me and I'll just fuck you up. But he didn't find it.
Yeah.
No, too slow.
T-Rex is like, well, my jaws could crush a car in half, so there's that.
And
So there goes your thigh.
what is one of the easily the most badass things ever put in a movie. The T-Rex just grabs this thing, fucking throws him through a different T-Rex skeleton, slams his ass. The banner's falling down when dinosaurs ruled the earth, and it just lets out that roar is so freaking amazing.
I wrote it down as the best line in a movie ever.
Yeah.
And that's when everyone in the audience climaxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
Climax.
that was amazing. Like
Oh, yeah.
that was all I was thinking about when we left the theater. All the stupid stuff that happened, immediately forgiven.
And that is the difference. That's what I was talking about before. Like, that's your takeaway from this movie. You don't dwell on all that other weird shit. You're like, that was fucking amazing.
And so it's so amazing that you even let it slide when Grant and everybody runs out and Grant says the stupidest line ever to Hammond. He's like, I've decided not to endorse your park.
So have I.
Yeah, and I'm like, come on.
I liked that line, just not there. But who?
Like, but that's like the last line of the damn movie.
Yep. But needless to say, like you're on such a high from that T-Rex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's on the helicopter, and basically the movie ends there. You get to see Grant like, yeah, I guess I'm okay with kids. We're gonna go home. I'm gonna pump a few of these into you, Sattler, and then
Is Malcolm on the helicopter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
He's like, I just got bitten
Fucked up.
by a T-Rex. My junk doesn't even work.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
And he is not going to pump a few into her because as we see in the third one.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I know, but we didn't know that at this time.
I got it.
I mean, somewhere though, he's thinking, I'm gonna get so much pussy from this.
Oh yeah,
And he might have for a while.
probably yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Got Julianne Moore from.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's Malcolm did
Yep. Anyway, so you get that shot when
Grant
they're
just
flying
got
away on the helicopter, and there's just you see the pelicans off in the distance,
Yeah.
and and that's it. Steven Spielberg's name pops up, and movie's over.
Yep.
Yeah.
The end.
Okay, so on RottenTomatoes.com, critics gave this a score of 91%. Audience gave this a score of 91%. That's their thoughts and opinion. What about you and yours, Will?
I'm surprised it's that low. I would definitely put it like a 95 or 96, and I don't think I could recommend a movie more.
Okay, Rob.
Are you going to be next? So I don't really think it's any kind of a secret. This is pretty much my favorite movie of all time. So I guess I'll recommend it. I would say probably a 95, 96 is pretty good. And I will say I still feel that the first Predator movie is a more watchable movie than this overall. But just in terms of my emotional response and just enjoyment of what's going on, the subject matter, I guess, this is easily my favorite movie. So yeah, this is pretty much a hundy for me.
Okay, Joe.
I love it. I love it with all of my body, including my pee-pee. I mean, it's an amazing movie. It's my second favorite Spielberg movie, but it's probably in my top 10.
What's the first one?
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Crystal Skull.
Yeah. Crystal Skull. Yeah. No, without saying, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is sad to think, like, he gave me such a profound experience in the movie theater several times, both like good with both Saving Private Ryan and Jurassic Park, and then also directed the movie that hurt me the most in the movie theater, which was Crystal Skull.
Real talk. I've never seen Saving Private Ryan.
I mean, it's not really your bag.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
If you ever are interested, you should check it out.
Yeah, it's really good.
I mean, it has my two favorite action scenes of any movie.
I mean, it's been one of those movies that's like, it's on my list of movies to see, but I feel like you have to kind of be in the mood to watch that specifically.
No, I gotcha.
Because I mean, never having seen it, I feel like it's kind of a heavy movie to take in.
Yeah, there's two scenes, like there's scenes that I like to watch, but watching the whole thing is an ordeal.
Yeah.
So I usually do just kind of watch specific scenes from it.
Gotcha.
But anyway, this movie does a lot of dumb things, but it doesn't matter. Like, it has two kids that have no reason being there. Doesn't matter. It has parts where that fucking kid should have died several times. Doesn't matter. Like, I could complain about this movie for a long time, and actually I just did. But like, in the end, doesn't matter. It's still like, is it an A+? I don't know, but it's an A. Like, definitely an A.
Well, I mean, it's an A+ in your heart. Is the thing. Like, we've already talked about how many flaws this movie has.
Yeah, but the emotional connection that it brings me back to that movie theater, like feeling the magic in, as a 12 or 13-year-old. Don't know how old I'd be depending on when it came out, but it was like, I still remember it, and it's amazing.
All right. And yeah, I wasn't too secretive about this from the get-go, but I love this movie. I would definitely recommend it. I think it still holds up. Like, again, the CGI, not, it's a bit, you can see the rough edges now, but it doesn't matter. It's still really good. The movie overall is good. They do have those dumb moments, but there's enough coolness to get you past it, and that's what you're going to be left with. So, high recommendations. This is an amazing movie. Definitely go out and watch if you haven't seen it.
Does this hold up to the standard that Rob has put it at, where it is the comparison for everything else? Do you think that's fair?
For him, definitely.
It's definitely fair for Rob.
Yeah.
Well, I don't compare it in like as how good of a movie something.
You
is.
compare it to everything
Well,
at all times.
True. I mean, a lot of that is just for comedic effect. But as old as the CG, this is like the first of its kind for CG, really. And as much as the CG has aged, it's still done in a way that even for its age, you can tell that it's CG, but it still looks good.
Yeah.
And I still can hold movies that come out today to the same standard as that. Like,
there are certainly a lot worse.
Even
that
if
come
there's
out
more,
today.
even if there's more polish on it, is it done in a way that it works in the background that it's in? If it, it holds up to certain standards. So I still feel that on that level, yes, it still works. But yeah, I mostly I'm just being silly when I compare everything to this.
Well, at least 75% of the time, I think your comparisons are valid, though.
I know I've gone on many tribes about this, but the use of practical effects makes a big difference to this. If it was all CG, I don't think it would be quite as good. But the use of both really helped them out. So it's just a really good movie, and yeah, like, this is one for like the movie Hall of Fame kind of. Yeah. At least for me, it's top tier of some of my favorite movies. So yeah, it's a standard for others to live up to.
I think it's pretty undeniably like a classic.
Oh yeah, I feel safe in saying that for sure.
I don't know if we'll ever be in this unanimous of an agreement about any other film.
Probably not.
Maybe not, but that's right.
Maybe Predator and Aliens, I think, were the only other ones that we were like that gushy about how good they were.
Iron Giant, maybe.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid all around.
Maybe Commando. I believe we were all favorite.
Yeah, I mean, we all liked it. But
Food Fight.
Yeah, Food Fight, definitely.
We were definitely all in agreement on that.
Pretty firmly, actually.
It'll probably be, we'll see what happens when we get around to Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom, the best of the
or the Transformers The Last Night. Guys, remember, if you buy a t-shirt or a hoodie, you can
spend your money on better.
Tweet us at 4am podcast, and you can use the hashtag selling out to
show us your love and pick a good movie. Show us your hate and pick one of the Transform movies.
Anyway, it's all entertainment either way. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I want to thank you so very much for listening. If you like what you heard, please consider subscribing. For our episode archive, merch store, and more information, check out our website at 4ampodcast.podbean.com. You can contact us by email at the4ampodcast@gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter or Facebook at 4ampodcast. So I think that's going to do it. I'm Rob, and my friends, these guys, want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Adios.
Good night, everybody.
Hold on to your butts.
Oh, wait, actually, got to talk about our next episode. Oh, what am I doing?
Oh.
Because it's
Let
way
go
late.
of your butt.
It's way late, and I am exhausted. So
Keep your hands near your butts, but let go.
yeah,
Don't touch them.
don't put it in there yet. Since it is the spooky time of year, we're gonna go ahead and do a spooky movie, sort of. So
There's
next,
a lot of quotes around that spooky.
yeah. Next episode, we're actually going to be doing Ernest Scared Stupid. It won out just by a little bit in our little internal vote, but it did win. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Great.
But
It's drinking all that Miak that made Brian sick.
it's all that Miak. It's coming right back out. So join us next episode. I'm probably going to release it a little bit early just to make it in time for Halloween. So join us next time for Ernest Scared Stupid. So thanks again, and goodbye again.
Now hold on to your butts.
Yes. That's butt holding on to.
We'll get in on this.
Meow, 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 meow.
Boom.